Hello everyone and welcome back to the 6th installment of Bronze here tonight, and it is the Spanish Grand Prix we are at tonight as well. As goodness me, I can hear myself, and that is appalling voice, isn't it? Unfortunately, you've got me now for the next 2 hours or so then, as we are now in the lobby and we are ready to get cooking on gas, aren't we? And this is going to be a cracking night of racing, I am absolutely sure of it, and this is going to be a amazing event. I have no doubt about that, because bronze has been absolutely fantastic this season. It really has, hasn't it? Looking at the track layout in front of us right now, we are at the Barcelona, which is not the Spanish capital, by the way, which I wrongfully said on Sunday it was there, so of course do not listen to me when it comes to when it comes to geography or any of that kind of stuff. But yes, we are at Barcelona. It's like 16 turns around this 2.8 mile circuit. Danny Ricciardo has got the lap record, albeit I think that in terms of the gold standard, it was Emerson who has the lap record around here in ALR's term of things, isn't it? Anyway, then let's go through the drivers and the constructor standings as the final countdown is on before we get into the action itself. And it is Velocity and Farfit joint leaders in the Drivers' Championship. It is nip and tuck. This is the closest championship out of all three of ALR's divisions so far, and this is an absolute cracker of a championship. I'm loving it so far. It's Velocity and Farf are top of the championship as well. Remember, Farf could possibly be leading this championship a lot further if he didn't have tire woes in Australia and in China as well, of course, where he pitted an extra time when he possibly shouldn't have done. Mike has been brilliant, hasn't he, this season as well? He's a completely new driver, 2 race wins behind him, and both those race wins as well, have been put down to magnificent strategy calls, hasn't it? So lovely stuff indeed there from Mike as well. In 4th position we have Energetic Said, who's finally found his feet, hasn't he, in bronze this season. He is 7 points away from Mike as well, as we've got Energetic, and he's 14 points behind Velocity as well. So I was just having a look to see why is the lobby going very slowly indeed then, but we'll leave it to be so far. Ayrton has had a cracking start to the season. He only scored 1 point last time out in bronze. I remember it was only 9 rounds last season, but this season he is in 5th in the Drivers' Championship, moved up another 3 positions, and cracking start to the season as well for Ayrton. Much more an improved driver, isn't he? He's a completely different man, isn't he? Quickly get the old graphics up as well. Anyway, back to the table, shall we? Rembo is in 6th position. She should have, possibly would have won the Grand Prix in Holland, but unfortunately, safety car came on at the wrong time, and also disconnections as well. Unfortunately for Rembo, she would have been on the podium as well. I have no doubt about that, but what a shame there for Rembo. But still, she moved up to 3 positions, and in 6th position in the driver standings, the Gort dropping down now 2 positions, as he is still currently not racing at the moment. I do not believe he is racing. Oh goodness me, there he is. He is in the Haas, so the Gort can hopefully regain some lost ground he's had over the past couple of weeks. Noonda has also dropped down a position as well. Curly Red in 9th position, and Penguin completes the top 10 as well. Bradfield moves up 3 positions as well. He is up into 13th as well. Gunnar and Lucius is all dropped down a position as well, and we still haven't got any points yet off the board there for Dead Rabbit, Fran, RDW, Mazlet and Stereogram. In the Constructors' Championship, this is how the state of play is then. Williams are leading there by 15 points away from McLaren, who have moved from 4th to 2nd. Lovely stuff indeed then. It's a bit of a leapfrog in the Constructors. Renault remain in 3rd position there, a point behind the McLaren team, and then it's Alfa Romeo who've dropped from 2nd to 4th. Fed so McLaren did an old switcheroo there, haven't they? Lovely stuff indeed. Haas has moved up 2 positions. They are now in 5th position. Ferrari and AlphaTauri have dropped down to 6th and 7th respectively. Mercedes in 8th position. Racing Point is 9th, and Red Bull is bringing up the rear in 10th position. Lovely stuff indeed then. Oh goodness me, got a lot of comments there. And I also heard a beautiful Formula 1 sounding car going down the back straight, and it is Velocity then the championship leader, or the joint championship leader as well. Remember, it's the first time that Velocity has not finished on the podium last time out in the Netherlands as well. That he came a cropper, didn't he? I think was it him when Energetics came to blow in turn 4. I think it was, wasn't it? But let's see what Velocities can do here tonight in the Williams Mercedes Mercedes then. We got Energetic saying, hey my love, as we've also got Brady sorted, still love that name, hyped. We've also, as Energetics of course is now also got an alter ego of Potter. So if I call him Potter, is RDW is retired from the session, but that is because he's got qualifying ban along with Bradfield as well then. So we're losing 18 cars in this qualifying session as the back row has already been decided because of the naughty boys of RDW and Bradfield, unfortunately. We have also got Emerson saying best of luck, bronze beats then, and so we have a bronze beast he means, and I was wondering what he meant by beats. I thought he was just I thought it was like a cool new phase kind of thing. Emerson is always down with the hip kids, isn't he? Velocity goes fast. Simone, he's done a 15.2 right off the bat straight away. Goodness me, these times are hot already here in bronze. My goodness gracious me. Dead Rabbit has gone second fastest. We already spoke about him in the intro. He hasn't got any points yet. Can he put that to bed and get some points on the board? Curly Red, a fantastic drive last time out in the Dutch Grand Prix in terms of performance, but unfortunately he didn't get nothing for it, did he? His pace was electric. He was on the second row of the grid. He was brilliant last time out, and unfortunately just didn't get anything, didn't get a reward for that, did he? Which is such a shame, and disappointing there. So we got Rafa, who's in the Mercedes. You may recognise Rafa. He has been in bronze before. I think he was in the Japanese Grand Prix last season. So and Rafa I think was in silver as well for a time being. Camera Racer is on circuit. We've got Mars out there as well. Newman, I got to say, he was brilliant, wasn't he, in China? And of course he did have a couple of gremlins in the Chinese Grand Prix, so let's see what he can do as he is back in action in the McLaren Renault tonight, which of course would be McLaren Mercedes next season as well. Energetics has done a 41, which is around about my time around here as well, so Energetics can go a lot better than that. Camera Racer has gone 6 fastest. Mike, the man who's inferring the championship, is in 5th so far, and Newman, as I underlined his pace credentials there, was 2nd so far in the McLaren. Lovely stuff indeed there. And we got Troy, who's coming out of the final turn as well. Then Troy is in the Haas tonight then, and he is just set a tie. He hasn't set a time yet as he's on and out lap mode. Here comes Marzen coming down the back straight. He's on a 51 in the second intermediate split time as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And now he's coming up into the final part of the course as well in the racing point in car 42. Mars is as well then. So let's see what he can do then. 8 cars have put a time on the board already. This qualifying one session, we are only concerned about the bottom 5 here, so albeit there of a cracking time from Velocity, that is not good. That's not going to put him on pole position. Of course, this is not about the top positions. This is about the bottom positions. And Nunda is on circuit as well. Lovely helmet design there from Nunda. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. There. One thing I do want about Formula One is probably better helmet design as well. It's improved dramatically on this game, hasn't it? Here comes Nunda there, and talking of improved dramatically, Nunda's had a cracking start to the season. Very like Ayrton, he's improved tenfold, hasn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed. That Troy is now coming out of the turn 12, I think that was, and he was on pole position last time out in the Dutch Grand Prix, wasn't it? But unfortunately it didn't go very well at all for Troy, albeit he did finish 4th in the end then, but what could have been there for Troy? He's a very quick cookie, isn't he? He is 4 fast at the moment and a half, and lovely stuff indeed there from Troy. And Energetics then flying through turn 9. Then of course we've had some almighty smashes across there over the course of the last 2 days in silver and gold. Are we going to get the same again here tonight? Then of course silver, I've got to say, gold was more of a strategical race, wasn't it? Well, silver, goodness me, then there was action all over the show, wasn't there? So what are we going to have tonight? Then we're going to have more in the middle. Is it going to be more of a strategical race, or is it going to be more of a action-packed thriller? Well, we'll find out then. Energetics then, this is 2 laps on the soft tyres. He goes across the line, a much more competitive time, and he's in the 16s at the moment as well. We'll keep an eye on his progress. And as out comes Gunnar. He is our favourite Irishman, isn't he? In 18th position at the moment. He hasn't set a time just yet. Also Rafa is back out on track as well in car 21, and hats off to Rafa because that is my favourite number. Ayrton also on track as well, on board with Ayrton there. Lovely helmet design as well. And now of course he's talking about Ayrton there. He is hello Sean. Sean. Hello, Ayrton. Hope you're having a lovely day today as well. And of course, that helmet design is based off of Lando Norris as well. I'll be interested to hear what if anyone else has got any interest in helmet storage or anything like that. I always say that I do love a good helmet, and I'm very interested to know about your numbers and also your helmet design as well. So if you want to throw them in the comments, then I'm all ears. And I gotta say, I am all ears because I do look like Dumbo every now and again as well with my big old ears. It's the only thing is I wish I could fly, because then I don't have to walk anyway. Ayrton there flying through turn 3 as well. Goodness me, he is definitely on it like a car bonnet through turn 3, and he's done a 21.2 in the first intermediate split time. Lovely stuff indeed then. And just taking a look at Milan. Hey Sean, hello Milan, I hope you're having a great time, great day today indeed. William as well, good afternoon. Hello William, hope you're having a lovely day as well. I think it's a good evening really, isn't it? And just having a look down the comments as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Loving you all, loving you all. Farf, hello sweet pie, of course. Oh my goodness me, and that is not a sweet pie at all. That is Ayrton into the Armco barrier, and he is out of qualifying. Oh goodness gracious me. And just having a look on the replay now. He was coming through 8 and he was coming through 7 and 8 there. He flicked it into turn 9 there, and yes, he just took too much of the outside curb, and he is into the Armco and into the wall, and he is out of qualifying. And my goodness me then, that is a horror show for the Mercedes driver, a horror show for Ayrton as well. Oh dear, that is not good at all, is it, for Ayrton and the Mercedes. And watching Rafa the Motor invalidated his time, just watching Maz as well. And goodness me, that's really woke us up, hasn't it? Captain Infinity still in the pits at the moment in the Ferrari, and Gunnar is on a lap at the moment now. I think he's the only man on the lap who hasn't invalidated this time yet. And Gunnar is very close on the last two races. Oh goodness me, he's took up the bollard off there, Gunnar. Of course, there a man who is a man who probably doesn't care too much about the laws of the track or on the road either. But yeah, Gunnar not a fan of the old bollards, is he? He comes through turn 16 as well. Then let's see what the Irishman could do in the Red Bull. He is 12th fast at the moment there, a whisker behind his teammate Camera Racer as well. And where's Maz then? Maz has just come through the final part of the course as well. Gore is coming into the pit, so we're keeping on what can Maz do. Maz hasn't started the last two races. The last race he started was actually, oh goodness me, a very long time ago. Actually, it was almost 3 weeks ago. Maz started the last race, which was back in Bahrain then. So he's got 1 point to his name at the moment in the racing point. He's done a 16.9 so far. No, I'm thinking that was probably more of a banker lap, isn't it? Rafa, it's great to see Rafa back in ALR. Actually, of course, I think his first race in Japan was a great race, wasn't it? He was fast, but unfortunately I think he was also a bit too furious as well, wasn't he? Rafa was, so unfortunately he was in the wall, wasn't he, at turn 4, unfortunately. Gunnar saying evening Sean, good evening Gunnar, hope you're on a lovely day out there. And we have also got it's Gunnar saying that when I was talking about Ayrton, of course Gunnar was just came back with a different man. Yes, it was Emerson, but of course I don't of course we do not think that's the case at all, do we? Rafa coming through the final turn as well, and not taking as much speed there, Rafa isn't, but that's still good enough for 7th fast at the moment. Sarah Graham there is currently 3 seconds off the back of the pack at the moment, isn't he? He's got to find some pace out there at the moment. Here comes the man who's also joined in the lead of the Drivers' Championship. It's Farfar, and I think there's a lot of what might have been for Farfar. Maybe he had too many penalties last time out, didn't he? Which really cost him valuable positions there and time in the Netherlands, didn't it? And remember in China as well, a pit stop, possibly a needless pit stop. We can't really tell for sure, can we? Because those tyres might not have gone to the end there, but Farfar, there might be a lot of, as Newman's retired from the session, there might be a lot of thinking to do in the old Renault team there for Farfar, as he has done a 50 in the second intermediate split time as well. Darren saying good evening, or good luck to all the bronze drivers as well then. And as we also got Pillar saying, can't believe Farf didn't leave me and Cookie reserved tonight. Hashtag worst admin. I completely agree with that. I think Farf needs to pull his socks up, don't he? I think all the admins, no, joking aside, all the admins do a cracking job, don't they? And Farf is 8th fast at the moment. We'll find out if that's a cracking lap or not. I think he'd be a bit disappointed with that one though, from Farf's side of the garage. We have got Emerson saying, definitely not me, I wouldn't do that. And I think he's commenting into the Ayrton crashing into the barrier at quite a rate of knots there, unfortunately. So that'll be the last time we're going to see Ayrton in this qualifying session. And there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on then. As a Droffast is also thrown in with the admin chat as he is also confirming that Farf is the worst admin. Lovely stuff. You see, I can feel the love for Farf tonight in the ODM chat there. Love it indeed. Then keep your comments coming in, guys. And I'm very refreshed indeed. Then, and I gotta say, I need to be refreshed tonight. Goodness me, I'm feeling a bit worse for wear. Not sure if it's the wind, and I don't mean the wind coming out of me. I mean the wind outside. It blew me for six, didn't it? And goodness me, I'm gotta say, I am not a light man by any stretch of the imagination, but it was blowing me, and places I didn't want to be blown. We're just watching Noonda then as he's coming out of turn 6 as well. We had an interesting smash here in 7 and 8, didn't we, last night? Villiam there came to blows with Ghost, didn't he? And I've got to say that that was a very interesting battle, wasn't it? I was loving that battle. It's a shame that they did come to blows then, but it's a very optimistic move from Villian, wasn't it? But I gotta say that if you're not, if you don't go for a gap, then you're not a racing driver. Luckily, I don't get involved in racing incidents because if I did, no one would get a penalty because I would say, yep, it's a racing incident. Anyway, and here comes Noonda. We're on board there with the nose cone of the Williams driver as well, and look at navigating the Mickey Mouse chicane. Then Ala turn 16 as well. A lovely shot from the nose cone of the Williams, and he comes over the line and he improves time, but not, and he does improve position as well. He's in 9th position. Mike there is might be feeling a bit concerned there. The Gort then back in action. He is only 12th fastest the Gort is at the moment. Interesting stuff out there. What about Captain Infinity? Rafa is retired from the session then, but he is safe up in 8th position now, and I know Mike is in 10th position, but we'll find out if that is going to be a problem or not in the latter stages as well then. And we're on board then with Captain Infinity at the moment as well, and as he is coming down into the turn 10 as well. Then Captain Infinity is in the Ferrari. His teammate Lucius there, and another driver just reflects on Lucius' start to the season. He is incredible in qualifying, isn't he? Very similar to V-Todd. V-Todd is cracking in qualifying, and in the race this season as well, V-Todd has shown he's picking and choosing his moments, and that is paying off handsomely for him. Unfortunately, Lucius is still having a bit of issues in the race trim where the points are handed out. In comes Captain Infinity. He is 16th fast at the moment. He's 3 tenths of a second off with Gunnar, who is 15th then. And Stereogram then is still it's done 3 laps on these soft tyres on Stereogram. I wonder if he's more concerned about the race strategy here, as he does not want to use any more tyres, and maybe it's not about track position around here. Maybe it is all about those tyres. And we have lost 3 cars already. 2 qualifying bans then from as Camaro Racer's gone into 6th fast, and that's a much better time for Camaro, isn't it? Remember, he made a splashing debut in Australia, didn't he? And hopefully he can now build from there as well. He's had a very difficult start to his ALR career, Camaro Racer, hasn't he? He's only had 1 points finish, which is back in Bahrain. The last 2 races have been DNFs for him, which hopefully he can put that to one side and get himself back to where he needs to be. Gort is back out on track as well. Maz is 3 tenths of a second down at the moment in the second intermediate split time. Here comes the Gort. He's 10th a second up, the Gort is. Remember, we also said that the Gort hasn't been racing either, so there's a lot of the traditional bronze drivers back in action here tonight, and it's good to see him, the likes of Gort and Maz. Really good stuff to see him back in the field as well, and they're flying up to 7th and 8th as well then, and going over the rumble strip curves as well before coming up into 9. Then hold on to your pants. Lovely stuff indeed there for the Gort there, but I feel that's definitely very much just testing the track limits, so we've already sent 1 car into the barrier of inside of turn 9, unfortunately. Darren is saying, I'm going to be ill for Monday, I can feel it. And as we're just watching the Gort now. But yeah, I think that in terms of Darren's comment there, is the mighty Monaco, isn't it, next week there for all ALR leagues, silver, gold and bronze then, as Gort goes into 3rd fast, then much better time for the Gort there. Also Farf is very slightly moved himself up in the 2nd as well then. And of course the Gort, believe it or not, hasn't got a win yet in bronze then, which I find absolutely astonishing. The Gort has been very much a seasoned veteran in the world of Formula 1 league racing, hasn't he? And of course made his long-awaited debut, didn't he, at the back end of last season. And this season I was expecting him to be more in the thick of things, so he's not at the moment. But let's see if he can get himself into the get himself right in the mix there in this season as well. And hopefully he's had a bit of a stop-start season. Now he can get himself going, and with a bit of momentum underneath him as well. as Stereogram there is he's done 5 laps on these soft tyres. Now I'm not expecting too much from Stereogram here just because of the tyre life, but perhaps he has just been full of fuel, and we're going to see, and we might see a banzai lap now for Stereogram. He is currently in the drop zone along with Captain Infinity as well. Captain Infinity is on an outlap moment with just under a minute to go. We got a Alfa Romeo who is well off the track there. Who is that? That's Energetics, isn't it? It is Energetics. He has gone into the wall there, and we had a crash there last year, didn't we, in gold there? I think it was Brandon and Matt there that came to blows, didn't they? And of course, in a very interesting circumstances, and unfortunately, Velocity has also had a problem there as well. Sorry, I think it was turn 4 actually, wasn't it? Not turn 3. Hamilton went off in turn 3, didn't he? When he had a puncture in 2010. Unfortunately, Energetics then is had a bit of a cropper, but he should be through. Stereogram is 5/10 to a second down. Then we got Captain Infinity. He's only got 10 seconds to go. Unless I'm out of sync, and if I am, then well, standard stuff really, isn't it? I think he should be okay though. Look at that there, very incredibly done there from Captain Infinity. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Stereogram. Then I think it's qualifying adventures over for Spain by the looks then, as we got a racing point in the background indeed there, and yet Stereogram is out of qualifying. Hopefully gets out of the way that racing point, because Maz I think is I think he's just finished the lap, hasn't he? Or was he just started the lap? I think he's probably just finished the lap, hasn't he? Captain Infinity then 300 a second up in the first intermediate split time. Lovely stuff from the Ferrari driver. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And now then coming down into turn 6 as well. Accelerating the way then Captain Infinity in the drop zone. We've had 4 of the 5 cars confirmed to be in the drop zone at the moment, which is for RDW, Bradfield, qualifying bands, Ayrton in the Armco, the Stereogram in 17th position. He's done 6 laps on those soft tyres there, and of course Infinity then, let's see what he can do then. He's 7900 a second. He's very much on the limit, isn't he? Gunnar has also finished as well, so he cannot reply now. If Infinity finds 3 times a second in the final sector. I remember last night with Sim Pillars was absolutely in the same car as Infinity, and goodness me, and Pillars was going into Infinity and beyond. What can Captain Infinity do? Can he do something similar out of the final corner now? And let's see. I think it's a 1,000th of a second slower than his previous decibel. So Captain Infinity unfortunately couldn't find that extra couple of tenths there. And Mars in the pits well, so that's in the qualifying one then. And unfortunately the drivers we have lost is Infinity in 16th position, Stereogram in 17th position, Ayrton down in 18th, RDW in 19th, and Bradfield is in 20th position, as Troy's retired from the session, as well as we are getting ready for qualifying 2 then in just a jiffy as well. And qualifying 2 only 15 minutes long of course, everyone, and I'm looking forward to that one in just a minute then. Nuno saying, Velocity, I'm apologising in advance, I'm not going to get second place there. Oh well, I've got to say, I was actually giving you big props earlier, Nuno, because I think you've been fantastic this season, and perhaps, who knows what could happen in the Spanish Grand Prix. Anything could happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. And as a draw fast, it's a draw fast saying it's Sean. Favre keeps asking Pillars to share play for him. Oh goodness me then, and there's me defending at Favre, and perhaps I shouldn't, should I really? Yep, he is the worst admin, isn't he? Yep, we'll keep that trending, shall we? Hashtag worst admin. Velocity is retired from the session as well. Stereogram is just coming into the pits then as he has finished this race. LH44, shalom. We've also got Gio who is just commenting on Energetics there, who was in the gravel, wasn't he? At turn 3 there, Energetics was. He was safely through. I think he was just trying to get some experience and understanding in those soft tyres there. And there is Energetics right behind his teammate as well. And lovely shot of the 2 Alfa Romeos. Remember this time last season in bronze, it was an Alfa Romeo 1-2, wasn't it? Where of course it was a nude potato who was under the name of Con making his debut, wasn't he? And he won the race there on an alternative strategy. And his teammate was second that day as well. It was a cracking start to the Alfa Romeo. And remember, Alfa Romeo are the defending constructors in a bronze as well. Out of qualifying, we have lost Bradfield, RDW, Ayrton, Stereogram, and Captain Infinity. Unfortunately, going to be watching from the sidelines in qualifying 2 and 3, but they'll be in the race momentarily. So do not worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. They will be back. And so just taking a quick look as well then down the comments as well. We have got Ayrton saying not happy, have to make it up in the race, and Rafa saying as Rafa is also stating that I can actually say his name properly, but I can't. Unfortunately, I can't say Pinilla right then, which I really struggled last night, and I'm probably going to struggle every time I see his name. I'm going to struggle. As I said before, I can't even say my own name, and as Energetic say, he's just spinning at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed. But he's already fifth, as he mentioned before. It's getting very dull out there, isn't it? Goodness me. Are we going to get some rain on the horizon here at the Barcelona track? We'll find out in just a jiffy as well. We've also got a lot of dabs going on in the chat as well. I would do a dab, but last time I did a dab, when you guys were doing a dab, I hit my headset off and smashed my microphone into my face, and it really hurt. We got intermediate tyres on for Rafa then, so maybe he is expecting a rainstorm. Are we expecting a similar kind of rainstorm we had in 95, where Schumacher was literally walking on water, wasn't he, in his Ferrari? That was his first Ferrari race win as well. It was a cracking race, wasn't it, for Schumacher, and one that will live long in the memory, and it will also live long in the memory for us Brits as well, because I think that all four Brits had a nightmare show, didn't they? Hill crashed. Hill had so many spins, I kind of lost count really. Not as many spins as Massa did in Britain and Silverstone in 2008, but there was a lot. Johnny Herbert was also having a lot of runoff areas, wasn't he? And I think Brundle unfortunately also came a cropper as well. And I can't remember what happened to David Coulthard that race. Probably I tried to block it out if anything bad happens to DC. Just watching Troy at the moment. Then last time out was pole sitter. Troy was currently he's a reserve at the moment in bronze there, but got to say he is a very quick driver, isn't he? And that's the understatement of the night so far. Goodness me! And I'm gonna have to say that there's a lot of things I should really put more emphasis in. And yes, Troy is more than a decent driver. He's a quality driver, isn't he? Gio asking Rafa on intermediates, on intermediate tyres. I think, as I was saying earlier, I think Rafa knows something that we don't. It's very dull out there, isn't it? I haven't had my weather report yet. Usually when I've done a weather report, I assume it's going to stay dry. Here comes Troy. He is coming down the back straight. Every car is on the track apart from Farfen, who is one half of the championship leader. Remember, it's a joint leader in the championship at the moment after 5 rounds, of course. Well, I should say 4, because we didn't do Vietnam because Farfen felt like he didn't want to do it that day. Of course, we've had 4 rounds there. We've gone to Australia, Bahrain. We had a break in Vietnam, and unfortunately, all you guys had to listen to me to yap on for half an hour. And I think that is something that you guys want to erase from your memory. And we went to China as well before going to the Netherlands as well. Now we're on Spain, and I got to say, this is going to be a very pivotal race straight so early. Oh, there's a racing point off at turn 2, I think, and it's Mazda till he has damaged the wing, and that's a lot of damage there from Mazda. Luckily, he is out straight away, so he will be able to get back into. Oh goodness me, that's a Mercedes off in the background as well, and that is Rafa, who has also had some issues as well. That's rain. I think there's rain. There is rain on the camera. Goodness me, and that is why everyone's out. Farf is in the pit lane, and now he's coming out of the pits as well. Then, and Farf probably should have been looking up at the sky. This might be a big problem there for Mazda. I was saying that should be a big problem. Well, it is a big problem now because the rain has started to fall here in qualifying. And just watching Troy's fastest. No, yeah, Velocity is fastest. Then we've got Dead Rabbit in third position at the moment. We've got an Alfa Romeo coming over the line as well, and that is Energetic. He is just starting us up. Then Mike is safely through there on the soft tires as well. Mike is interesting stuff. We've got Curly Red in third position as well. They come through thick and fast. I love it. We've also got Nunda coming out the final corner as well. He is up in the fourth position there, and I reckon Mike was going for more track position rather than strategy. The Gore is invalidated his time. He's going to have to go around again then. What about Gunnar? Gunnar has him. Gunnar's done a 17 on soft tire as well. I could see Gunnar getting into qualifying 3. Energetics is invalidated his time again then. Rafa, of course, had a spin there, and he's going to have to go around again then. Lucius is on track at the moment as well then. 11 minutes to go then. It is only light rain at the moment, so it is not too pivotal. Is that a word? No, it's not, but let's carry on. Lucius in 6th position now in the Ferrari. He is in front of Gunnar at the moment as well. Newman, who is impressed me, but he's invalidated his time. Mazda's in the pits there. He can feel the time ebbing away, can he? As he is slowing down there. And Farf is also on the tarmac as well. On board the Gort then, and then the rain is getting heavier now, isn't it? Oh, he's gone wide, the Gort! has, and he's invaded this time. There's a lot of big names facing the abysses, and oh goodness me, and look at this, as Newman is in the pits and also in the pits is Energetics as well. This is not good at all. Farf, who is as cool as a cucumber, might have pulled a blinder here by just taking it calm, making sure he's got the right tires on, making sure that he is happy with his car, and now he's out on track at the moment then, and there's one more spot then to claim in the top 10. The Gore is still out there at the moment, and Yellow Flags as one of the Red Bulls is taking an excursion. I think it's Gunnar who's currently in 7th position there at the heights of the top 10. Lovely stuff indeed there. As Darren is saying, got to support Curly, the fellow racing point driver, and Maz as well, and good stuff indeed there from Darren, of course, who's had a very good start to the season, honestly. He's had a tough last couple of races, hasn't he, Darren has, but overall, I think it's been a cracking start, and hopefully he can get back on the horse in Monaco. Favre comes across the line, he's full fast as far as that's an impressive time now from the man who is currently top of the championship. Rafa has invaded this time in the Mercedes, and he is on the escape road there. Dead Rabbit is also off the track as well. What about the Gore? The Gore then, can he get himself? Oh, he's invaded again, the Gore has, I believe. And this is not good at all for the Gore, is it? It's got to come in the pits, isn't it? Because those tires have done 2 laps already. This is a pressure cooker now. There is, well, at the moment we have a top 10. Is that going to be the final top 10 as well? It's going to be interesting stuff indeed then. The pits, Camera Racer and Energetics as well. I feel that there's a lot of big names in the drop zone, but I feel that we could be seeing a tier or two from someone who is expected to be in qualifying 3 quite easily, and it's an incredible start to this qualifying session. Gunnar is already thinking about the intermediate tires. Into the pits comes the Gort now in the Haas. Camera Racer on a lap at the moment, and so is Energetic as well, but Camera Racer is the first man around then. DRS is still enabled at the moment then, but you can see the track is getting wetter. There's more and more drops of rain there getting onto the camera lens as well, isn't it? And those raindrops are getting bigger as well. How is it going to affect the driver's head? There's a Mercedes off. It is Rafa again, I think. Yes, it is, and he's had an excursion out at turn 8. We had a big old smash there last night, didn't we? And unfortunately, Rafa has come a cropper again, and I don't think he's damaged the car, and Rafa is at the moment in a very neat 5th position then, so Rafa might be safe for that one, because this might be a one and done session with 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session then. The rain is not that heavy at the moment, is it? But the track is just going to be getting slipperier and slipperier as this rain progresses as well. Intensity level probably 1 at the moment, if anything like that, as the mechanics say then. As Darren's saying, would this be Gunnar's first qualifying 3-4 appearance? Yes, it would be of this season. Anyway, of course, Gunnar in his debut in bronze there in Italy, in that Ferrari, he was flying, wasn't he? He was in a very spectacular 9th position, and the race pace from Gunnar that day was amazing. Unfortunately, he did end up in the barrier at the second Lesbian, unfortunately, which ended Gunnar's race there. As a camera racer, they're flying through turn 9 then, and now there's only a couple positions up for grabs then. I feel that the late 17s is going to be very precarious at this moment in time. That is Gunnar and Dead Rabbit. Lucius is, well, I'm not sure about the early 17s, but definitely the late 17s. Camera Racer then is into the final couple of corners as well. We got 3 to go then for Camera Racer, and let's see what we can do then. Very coolly, calmly does it then. And now through the final turn then, and let's see what is going to occur then. And Camera Racer is only at 18 now. Goodness me then, it is not enough for the moment then. What about Energetics then? He's 2/10 a second off the premium pace of what he needs to get through. Energetics currently 4th for the Drivers' Championship. He is only at 18.3. It's too wet out there, but Alex. What about Newman? He is on the soft tires. That might be a good gamble for qualifying. He is through. Newman is through into qualifying 3. What about Mars? Mars is also through as well. And Gunnar and Dead Rabbit are out of qualifying at this moment in time then. So they had to gamble on the soft tires, didn't they? Otherwise they wouldn't have got through by the looks of it, because the medium tires are not warming up, is it? It's too wet out there. And that's a McLaren. That's a McLaren off. And I think that's this Newman, is it? It is Newman. And I think he stopped the car beautifully well, and he hasn't got damage to the car either. And currently he is sitting very nicely in the top 10. And Judge is invalid at its time. Currently, Camera Racer is 3 seconds down the second intermediate split time as well. The Gore has not come back out yet either. Is it too wet now? I wonder if anyone's going to try and butt on a set of soft tires and give it another bite of the cherry. Gio's asked, did anyone see that Red Bull crash? I unfortunately didn't know. I'm sure I've seen Gunnar on a trip across the gravel. We've also, as Darren is saying, don't crash, Gunnar, park it. We've also got Velocity saying, I had a horror lap there, but he's still doing a good job out there. And we've also got Gunnar saying, I'm as Gunnar saying, it looks like he's only got a set of mediums left there. We've also got, but 11 is best place to start as well. So Gunnar looking on the positives as well. Dead Rabbit is 4/10 of a second down on his personal best. That is not on the time to get into qualifying free then. And it's very wet out there now, isn't it? Velocity is retired from the session as well with 5 minutes to go in this qualifying 2 then. And look at those names then. This is not going to be in qualifying 3. And that is Gunnar, Dead Rabbit, Camaro, Energetics, and the Gore at this moment in time. That's if qualifying stopped now then. I wonder if the rain is going to ease off then, or is this now fair set then for the end of qualifying 2 and perhaps going into qualifying 3 as well. We've seen in the past where the rain has come for qualifying 2 and it's cleared up for qualifying 3 then. Are we going to get the same here tonight then? Well, we're going to have to find out in just a jiffy, ain't we? As Dead Rabbit then is now coming into the Mickey Mouse chicane then, and let's see, and he's carrying on. The Dead Rabbit is then Curly's retired from the session while everyone is retiring is in the pits. The only one out on track is Dead Rabbit. We haven't seen much of Dead Rabbit this season, but it's great to see him on track now, isn't it? As he is coming down into turn 1 then. Let's see where he's breaking. DRS is still enabled then, so it's still wet, it's still dry enough out there for the wet for the DRS at this moment. But you can see then, look at the understeer on the car then. He is lacking grip then, isn't he? Back on board with Dead Rabbit. He's currently 12 fast at the moment then in the and he's a 10th of a second down. That's a much better split than he had last time out, so fully committed that Dead Rabbit is, as I'm not sure if he was a bit slower coming through the end of turn 4 though, so that's not good at all, is it, from Dead Rabbit's point of view then. And now he's on the loud pedal coming into 7 and 8 and 9 as well then, as the track starts to climb uphill. Look at the back end, that part of the course is as slippery as it is then, and so is this part of the course as well. And the Dead Rabbit having to get out of that because otherwise he would have been in the scene of the accident as well, and that might be done then. He's a second off as Farfus retired from the session. We have got Camera Racer going out then for one more final attempt then to get into qualifying 3. Can he do it, Camera Racer? We're keeping on him as well, as Dead Rabbit there is unfortunately in the head centre as he is trying to get out of the gravel now then. And so Dead Rabbit then, I think that might be the end of Dead Rabbit's qualifying session, but 12th position is not a bad performance then for Dead Rabbit, and hopefully can get some points on the board as well then, as he is just hopping over the curves. And I think he will be seen coming in the pits. Yes, he is, as those soft tires are slightly dirty. Here comes Camera Racer as he's coming down the back straight then, and he is now into turn 10 as well. He's on the medium tires again then, Camera Racer is, as he feels that the soft tires strategy is a complete no-go, isn't it? He doesn't even want to think about going on those soft tires, does he, in the Red Bull then. So Camera Racer, that beautiful purple helmet there from Camaro. Let's see what he can do then. Lucius retired from the session there. Once again in the qualifying 3, Lucius is, can he get some points on the board for his Ferrari team? And Camera Racer coming through the final turn then. DRS is still enabled, it is still open for business, and let's see what he can do then. 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well then, as we're coming down into turn 1 then. There's a Gunnar's retired from the session as well then, as you can see, and we've also got the Gort out there as well, having another bite of chair as well. And of course it's what can these guys do? They must have a good attempt for it, because of course all these guys want to get into qualifying for it, don't they? 1.3 seconds. Camera Racer is down though. Oh, you can see straighten up the steering wheel there. He was distracted, I think, at trying to change some settings on the steering wheel. Energetics is out on the soft tires then, as this is going to get very interesting indeed then. This is going to get very, very tense as well, and the final stage as well. Of course, as Energetics in the Gort is going to have to be very much on their toes, aren't they, if they want to get through into qualifying 3. I feel that the track is too wet then, but I've been proven wrong before many times, and I probably will be proven wrong again here tonight then. At this moment then, Camera Racer is on an in-lap by the looks, or he's just harvesting and going for, is he going to go for another go? And there's no harm in trying this because he's out qualifying at the moment, and he might as well go for broke, hasn't he? And see what he can do then, throw it all against the wall and see what will stick. That's how I cook my pasta. Here we go then, this Camera then coming. Oh, he's gone wide then, and the Gort is out. And oh, he's in the wall, coming into the pit lane there, and I'm sure we've seen Gurman had the same issue in the same car. Oh dear, that is not good at all, is it, for the Gort? He is out of qualifying. What a shame then. And now it's so Energetics is the only man that can spoil Maz's day at the moment, as Maz is currently the man who is occupying that 10th spot at the moment. Energetics then, as he is 4th in the World Drivers' Championship at the moment then, and let's see what he can do then, as he doesn't want to be out of qualifying, does he? He is on soft tyres now then. Can he improve then? Look at the rain, it is coming down, isn't it? It's coming down in steroids now, isn't it, compared to what it was before? And Energetics there backing off at turn 3. He knows on the Delta that he's not even nowhere near his personal best, and Energetics that is out of qualifying. What a shame there for the man who sits 4th in the World Drivers' Championship as well. He's 7 points away from Mike. He's 14 points away from Far from Velocity, and they are all through into qualifying 3 then. And Energetics has unfortunately been left out of the party here at the Spanish Grand Prix. He's been left out of the fiesta, hasn't he? Energetics has, which is a big shame, isn't it? And yep, that is such a shame now for Potter, as he is going to have to crawl back to the pits as well. Just taking a look at the old comments as well then. We got Pillar saying would do a better job, at least you got P1 and Q2 and Q3. Either you're sandbagging or you're one slow boy then. As oh, it's Energetics has got off there. I'll try to work out, I'm not sure if you know what that comment's from, to be honest, but I have missed a couple of comments there, as it has been a very intense affair here in qualifying, as to say the least. We've also got Gio saying, why does Energetics bother? He won't get through that. Well, to be honest, he's got nothing to lose, has he really? Energetics, as he might have had a go, as he is now going on the Ode circuit as well. Of course, our Ode circuit was used right until 94, wasn't it? Before they decided to do a lot of circuit changes, didn't they? Of course, they also decided to put a lot of mobile barriers on all the circuits as well. As Energetics is using the old configuration of the course, isn't he? As he is just touring back into the garage, and this will be the last time we see Energetics, and that's a huge name. It's out of qualifying 2 here tonight, and goodness gracious me then, the man who's had the most pole positions in bronze in the current field with 5 is unfortunately not going to be in for the pole position, as he almost went to the barrier there, and but he is now just carrying on there, as he knows he's on screen there. He just probably wants to enjoy himself, as he is now just practicing his starts as well then. And look at those tyre rubber there on the track as well as he goes through, and that's a time that I'll be proud of, a 2:22 then. Unfortunately, that's not a time that any of these guys will be proud of, as they are all out of qualifying as well. And look at that rain then. I feel we've got intermediate tyres coming for qualifying 3. Who has been practicing for the wet running? And that is going to be an interesting question, isn't it? Because when you go to Spain, you don't expect rain, do you, much? Well, I certainly don't anyway. You go on to Spain to catch some sun rays, not to get the umbrella up, do you? And so yeah, I'm wondering who is going to be practicing for the rain then, and who is going to be caught out. Energetics is just on the in-lap at the moment then. As we mentioned already, and of course the wet Spanish Grand Prix back in 96 was an absolute cracker, wasn't it? I can't remember another wet Spanish Grand Prix, to be honest. I'm trying to rack my head around it. 97, it was very overcast, wasn't it? And I remember 97, Panis was on a cracking race, wasn't he? It really was indeed that. And of course the other race I remember from the Spanish Grand Prix is 2000, of course, there, where David Coulthard had a scary plane accident, didn't he? In Britain, had a couple of cracked ribs, didn't he? And he finished second. It was a great effort there from Coulthard there. Unfortunately, the pilots did lose their life, didn't they, in that scary plane crash as well, way back in 2000. Now, almost 20 years ago. Well, it's over 20 years ago, isn't it? Goodness me. Yeah, that was very distressing to say the least, wasn't it? Out of qualifying then is Magor, Energetics, Camaro, Dead Rabbit, and Gunnar have all gone out of qualifying at 2 then, but then those are the positions that are going to be lined up for the race then, which is coming up in just a few moments time. But before it does, we have to get into qualifying 3. We have to decide who is going to be on pole position then for the Spanish Grand Prix then, and this is going to be a cracker, isn't it? Who has got the momentum now with the wet weather out there? And the question is, how long is that wet weather going to be out there as well? There's a lot of questions that needs to be answered in 12 minutes, and there's only one way to find out, and that is stay tuned then, as we're into qualifying 3 now. Brady Sorted said what he wanted 11th Guna then, and Guna wanted 10th. Then they should have swapped positions then, shouldn't they? We have also got Gio saying he wanted the race then, as Gio probably been a bit disappointed, and that is definitely intermediate conditions, isn't it? As the track is getting very damp out there indeed, isn't it? Darren saying GG Curly Red, yeah, great stuff indeed then. And as we're just now watching when your iPad is on 10% and I have to miss ALR then. Oh goodness me, then of course I've made sure I've charged me tablet, as last night I almost didn't charge me tablet, and luckily enough I got my tablet's loading not very good spells, so it only lasts about 2 and a bit hours. Luckily it just crawled to the end then. Curly Red has gone to soft tires. Interesting stuff then from the Racing Point driver. Out of the pits comes the McLaren of Mike then, the man who's the only man to have 2 wins so far this season. There's a lot of spray coming off those intermediate tyres then. That is the only way to go. I think Curly Red will be putting those soft tyres back away, and he'll be going on the intermediate tyres then as well. Nuno saying he's now qualified 8th, hard than 8th for his bronze career. Can he do so here tonight then? Well, hopefully he can then. Velocity will be hoping he can qualify hard than 8th himself, and of course in the second Williams as well then. And as Darren is saying, it's on PS4, Gio. As of course Darren does watch it on his PlayStation 4, and it's just on board at the moment then. As Gio has asked Discord to at him when the race starts. Well, he's got about 12 minutes, my good man. As probably it would take about 12 minutes before we get going properly in the race as well then. So we're into qualifying 3 then. The men have been on pole position so far. You've not had a double pole sitter yet. Energetics is on pole in Australia. He is out of qualifying. Total P's on pole position in Bahrain. He is now a promoted driver and is in I think he's in gold now, isn't he? That just shows his talent, doesn't it? And China, it was Farf. Farf is in this qualifying session, and the other man was Troy, wasn't it? So who's going to be on pole position for the second time? It's out 2 men then, Farf and Troy, but there's 8 other men that wants to be on pole position for the first time this season then. And this is going to be very interesting indeed then. Now there's a lot of rain coming down. Who is going to be able to ride the wave of momentum then as they come out of the final turn? Velocity does. He is currently the man who is out leading the championship along with Farf, and of course who's going to get the psychological edge then going into the race itself. And there is a lot of wet weather, no DRS anymore then. The DRS has been disabled because of wet weather conditions, and now is Velocity going through turn 3 as well. Not a lot of spray colour then, so it's still quite dry. There's no standing puddles of course, and if there was any rivers they will be going on to the wet tyres, which I don't think there is any need to go onto the wet tyres at this stage. Now I don't think there'll be any wet tyres going on running in this qualifying session either. The race, however, is a completely different story as well. As a person said, hopefully Bronze gets turn 1 before the VSC comes out. As a yellow flag in 1, as Mazda, he is off the track at turn 3, he's reversing back on there, and that Ferrari of Lucius was on an outlet by looks at, but Mazda has had another issue there in qualifying, unfortunately, and he's just now coming back on the tarmac, so getting out of the way of his teammate. And Velocity is in the second sector. We've rejoined him for the second sector. Goodness me, look at that then, as he is hacksawing away at that wheel, isn't he? Goodness me, it's so difficult to control in these wet weather conditions, isn't it? And now he's coming into the Mickey Mouse chicane as well, and look at us, and has to be neat and tidy. You have to be so precise in these track conditions once again to correct the slide. No second fastest moment there, and that's a huge gap as well. Far comes across the line. He is second fastest moment there. Velocity has done a cracking lap there, hasn't he? I think I've not given that lap just as much as I should have done there. And now we've got the Curly Red then, who is just also hacksawing away as well. And Lucius is currently on an outlaw for the moment then, but he is next to cross the line. We leave Lucius to it for now then. Total Pease reckons that Velocity is going to bottle it. Currently Velocity is got a huge 1 point. I think that is, he's 9 tenths a second in front of Farfador. That's incredible, isn't it? Curly Red is in first position. Everyone else is in the 27th at the moment, apart from Energetics, who has had a stormer of a time. Mars has done a 53 there. Noonday is gone 5th fast as well. What about the Mercedes of Rafa? Rafa is gone to 4th fastest. Velocity is in a league of 1 at this moment. Incredible out there for Velocity. 26-1. That is absolutely outstanding stuff, isn't it? And these wet weather conditions, though, you cannot take anything for granted. The track conditions can improve at any moment. And Troy is 6th fast as well. The man who was last time on pole position last time as well. So I got a scary message up in the top right hand corner. Goodness me, then that is scary indeed. Anyway, then is let's just carry on. Sorry, Lucius there in out of turn number 8, then flying into turn number 9 then, and let's see what he could do then. And we've also got Oulet Peas in here as well from Pillars as well. As now we're just watching Lucius coming down into turn 10 as well. Then as the wet weather then is, I'm not sure if the rain's getting lighter or if that's just my imagination. There's still a lot of spots coming out of the sky though, isn't it? And now then it's Lucius there into 13, now 14 and 15 and 16 as well. Very cool. Lucius is very good on one lap, isn't he? He's a fantastic qualifier. Car 30 out of the final turn then. Let's see what he can do then. Lucius is 6th fastest there. Good stuff indeed there from Lucius there in car 30. The last driver who I remember to have car 30, I think was it Heinz Alfred? No, was it Car Vendiger or Heinz Alfred? It was one of the Saubers, wasn't it? I'm sure it was Heinz Alfred actually, wasn't it? In the Sauber back in 1995. Well, it was one of the Saubers, or it's Vendiger or Jean-Christophe Bouillon. No, I don't know why I love that name. It was a good name indeed then. Of course, he was also a Williams test driver, wasn't he, back in 95? Bouillon was. Of course, Car Vendiger was driving that Sauber, wasn't he, until he had an awful crash, didn't he, in the 94 Monaco Grand Prix. He came back from 95 and I think he was replaced, wasn't he, after the Spanish Grand Prix by Bouillon. But I think Car Vendiger did have a couple of appearances here and there after that, but yeah, I don't think it was the same driver after that horrific accident in the 94 Monaco Grand Prix, unfortunately. So we're now back on board there with the second McLaren of Newman. Then, of course, Newman's only had one race start in his bronze career. As this is his second race start here tonight. As a yellow flag there for one of the racing points there. So I think that is Maz there, who was actually up on his previous best there. As unfortunately had a cropper again there in the racing points, so he's going to have to come back in the pits as well. Just watching Newman at the moment. As I was saying then, yes, his first race was absolutely amazing, wasn't it? He had a couple of issues there, but his pace was his raw pace was amazing, wasn't it, from Newman? So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do then. Unfortunately, this rain has kind of robbed us of what Newman's proper pace is, but maybe he's a rain master then. And let's see what he can do then in the wet itself. As he's done a 56 in the second intermediate time, then that is purple in the second sector, or is purple momentarily as well then. And now as Newman then coming over the curbs as well. Don't take too much curve there, because you'll be spat to the barrier there, won't you? And that would completely ruin your lap then. These laps are taking longer than normal then. They were down to 4.5 minutes then in this qualifying session as well then. Into 14 and 15 now then, as Newman accelerates now then. Of course, at the moment, Energetic is in a completely different time zone to the rest of the field there. 26-1 there, and Newman is gone into third fastest then as well there. And there's a lot of guys who's on the soft tyres then, and I'm wondering then if are they thinking about it realistically. I feel it's too wet for the soft tyres, and as the rain is still coming down, there's a lot of spray cut off of the tyres as well. I think it's too wet for the soft tyre, but Curly is giving it a gamble on board with him. And this is the trick with these soft tyres there. You have to, on the dry tyres on a wet circuit, you have to go as quick as you can, don't you? And without spinning off there. And of course, the slower you go, the tire temperature just drops, and you've got no grip. And look at that, you're a pedestrian there, which is exactly what's happened to Curly Red. Farf is also teasing the soft tire as well, but he's probably looking at the footage right now. I'm feeling that's not a good strategy at all. It's Curly Red is resting the car, but he's in a fantastic fourth at the moment. And also Rafa is out on the soft tire as well. Interesting stuff indeed then. And Curly then, I feel, will be coming back in the pits. He is coming back in the pits. It's worth a gamble, but yeah, I don't think the soft tires is quicker by any stretch of the imagination. Then Mike has invalidated his time then, so he's going to have to go around again then. And I'm wondering then if he's going to come in the pits and go back out then for another fresh set of intermediate tires. It's not as pivotal as the dry tires, and I'm one lap on those soft tires, is it? Because the soft tires around here, basically, they're one and done. They're quality tires, really, aren't they? As they're done, they're basically full to pieces after 3/4 of the lap, don't they? Those soft tires. And we're on board there with Mike at the moment then, and DRS has been enabled then, so the people that was trying out these soft tires then was definitely onto a winner then, perhaps then. And there is soft tires going on the other guys out there. There's still rain out there, and there's a lot of spray. This is going to be talent to the utmost here, guys, then. And this is going to be interesting stuff indeed. Who has got the talent then to take the soft tires on the wet track, or is it going to be the intermediate tires? So there's still rain out there. but it's very light now then. So we're transitioning back into a dry track, and with DRS being enabled then, surely someone's going to go on the soft tyres. Maz is on the soft tyres. Mike then is carrying on the intermediate. Sean McLaren, is this going to be a winner, or is this going to be a winner or a dud then? Mike then comes across the line as well, and this is it then. It's all or nothing then. Mike hasn't had a pole position so far, but that don't really matter. You don't get points in the qualifying sessions, you get points in the race, don't you? Or as I was about to say, points in the race as well. If that was the case, I'll definitely be racing. Mike then is now coming through turn 3 as well then, and this is a drying track. Is it going to be drying off velocity there? Almost in the way of Mike there. Is that going to distract him? He is 3 tenths of a second up in the first intermediate split time there for Mike then, and he is improving. Nuno's also on track as well. Mike is definitely very much almost out of fuel, and you see the fuel light flashing on telemetry down the bottom right hand corner, and Mike there is overdone it then, and I wonder if that might be it then. Is he carried on then? We're on board with Mike now then. I think that the Delta might still be green. I'm just trying to have a look on the steering wheel. Yellow flag is one of the, I think it's one of the Williamses there who is on an outlap as well then, so don't worry about that. And we're looking at the looking at the second split time now, and it is 2 tenths of a second down Mike is then, and oh dear, this is not good then until we got intermediate tyre runners then start there, and that is Lucius also out on track as well. Just taking a look then, Mike I think is backed off then, so we're going to keep an eye on what Lucius can do as well. Everyone else is now on soft tyres then. It's going to be very difficult, isn't it? As Simon's asking, why didn't Mike stop for the soft tyres then? And of course Mike was already out on the intermediate tyres, wasn't he? Lucius is 5 tenths a second up. He's gone purple in the first sector, hasn't he? Yeah, I think that Mike was already out there, wasn't he? He's already committed to the intermediate tyres there. And to me there, it was definitely not a dry track, was it? When Mike was out there, because Curly Red was out there at the same time, wasn't he? He was on the soft tyres and having an experiment, wasn't he? And at that moment in time, that's definitely not the dry tyre, but all of a sudden it is completely transformed, doesn't it? The weather radar seems to be on someone's side. Unfortunately, it's not on Mike's side, is it? Lucius has gone wide. He is invalidated this time. That's a huge blow for Lucius. And the highest he is going to start is 7th on the grid then. What a shame for Lucius then. And we're on board now then with we're on board with Velocity as well. Maz is also on track as well then. Maz in 9th position at the moment, and he can he now improve, and let's see what the second intermediate time is. He's 4 seconds up there, and that is almost that is good enough for pole position then. But of course the times are going to be tumbling like a fruit machine now, aren't they? And they're coming into the final split time as well, as he's popping over the crest of the hill. There he is. That's a Haas off. It's Troy, the man who was on pole position last time. He is off the course. He is out of qualifying. He'll be 8 fastest at the very maximum. Unfortunately, Maz almost struggling off the curbs there, but he is fine. He is standy. He is pole position, and he's done a 20.8. Is that beatable? Let's find out. The man who's on current pole position mode. He's already 3 seconds up, I should say there. He's out of the final turn as well. Then Velocity there is completely amazing. The wet setup. He is on pole position. Then what about Farf? Farf is on pole position there. Farf has got it completely right then. Lovely stuff indeed there. What about Newman then? Newman coming through the final turn as well. 19.2 he's aiming for. Is he going to do it? He has done it. Newman is on pole position. That's his first pole position of his career. What about Kearney? Kearney coming out of the final turn as well, and Kearney goes second fastest. What a great, this is a fantastic end to qualifying. Newman, Nunez is coming out as well. I've got Rafa up in 3rd position. Lovely stuff indeed then. I think Nunez crossed the line too late then perhaps, but don't quote me on that one. But nevertheless, it is the McLaren driver of Newman who's on pole position, his first pole position of his career in bronze then. And goodness gracious me, that's a quality lap there for Newman. Really well done indeed. We're just watching Nunda at the moment then, as he's locking up the inside tyre there, isn't he? And let's see what can he. The only way is up for Nunda, isn't it? He's currently 10 fast at the moment then, as he is now flying now up in the up into the second part. Oh goodness me, a bit of lag going on there for Nunda as he's flying into turn number 9 then. Goodness me, that was almost an airplane crash. Oh gosh indeed that. Darren saying that this is gonna go soft last lap there. Good call from Darren there. Lap after flag there, gets pole, and Nunda for pole from Tommy as well then. Interesting stuff, and let's find out then. I thought that Nunda didn't cross the line. I thought the checker flag had fallen. We'll find out there, but Nunda is carrying on then. This is it then. Who is going to be on pole? It's going to be Nunda. There's a McLaren in front. Oh my goodness me, Nunda to take a race of action. It's on it. Oh, it's on pole position. Nunda is on pole position then for the spot. No, he's 10th. Oh, he is on pole position. A fantastic time there for Nunda. And wow, what out there for the Williams driver. And great stuff indeed there from Nunda. Oh my goodness gracious me. What an end to qualify. That was an amazing end, wasn't it? It was last man across the line that got pole. That's exactly right there for from Tommy and from Darren as well. Brilliant stuff there. And it is a pole position there from Nunda. And hats off there to the Williams driver. Really well done indeed then. And I was counting my chickens before they hatched there when I said that Newman is on pole position. And Nunda definitely got judged to absolute perfection. Remember the 1999 European Grand Prix? I always quote this one because that's my favourite qualifying session. It was last one across the line. Frentzen got pole position there with with about 9 seconds to go, wasn't it? And Nunda has done it today, and that is his first pole position there for the Williams driver, and a fantastic pole position there from Nunda as well. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed. And this is going to be a absolutely cracker of a Spanish Grand Prix. As Darren did say, he set his time after though, and that's what I thought as well, to be honest. I don't want to put a dampener on Nunda because that was an absolutely sensational lap. It really was, wasn't it? But yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought he crossed the line after as well. But I am desynced, ain't I? So we'll probably take that into account as well. Then right then is oh goodness me, there's a lot of notifications going on. There's also a lot of chatter as well. Love it, and great stuff indeed there. Of course, if you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, then brilliant stuff indeed. Then as I only remember that because we had a like as well, so great stuff indeed then. We also had a share as well. Absolutely love it. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As Tommy has asked Darren, what's your PlayStation tag then? Of course, Darren there is the very fast serious mushroom, isn't he? And as Tommy's also agreed there, yep, GG. Right then, as we are now getting into the race itself there, wow, we have gone from a lovely qualifying session where I've got to say I was going to be catching some rays to maybe getting the umbrella, and now we're back out with the sun cream, and I got to say I better get on me factor 100 then, because it is cooking out there, and it's going to be hot on the track as well then. As we are now just waiting for the cars to line up, and we are going to be ready to get going in just a minute then. And here we go then. As Pease there is just flown back at a comment there at Pillars there. The banter in the chat is absolutely phenomenal. As Pease has just said, Pillars would have crashed by now. Of course, Pillars one of the most impressive drives that we've seen in Silver, hasn't we? He was fantastic last time, wasn't he? Pillars was. And I would love to have seen Pillars and Dan going head to head, and hopefully we'll see that in Monaco. Anyway then, yep, but of course that is silver. This is bronze. And look at that, there is a Williams on pole position. It is Nunda, as the velocity has dropped all the way down to 6 there as well. Then let's take you through the grid then from that front to back then as well. I gotta say, I forgot velocity was on pole position at the time, and we have got a disqualification between Maz and Mike already then, and that's at least getting it all out of the way now, lads. I love it. Emerson just said Ayrton for driver today then, as very got to say, if he does get some points from there, then absolutely fantastic. 17 Bailey, Darren, how's that kind of thing then, and good stuff indeed then. I think I've missed I gotta say then, it's like that meme, isn't it, with Superman where the joke kind of flies over his head. That's kind of what I was anyway, on pole position for the first time in his very young career in bronze is Nunda there. He stepped up to a full-time seat in the Williams this season. He is a completely different driver. Nunda is. He's been much more impressive, much more off the pace, and he has shown it as well with a pole position there. Newman is second in the second Grand Prix, is second. Third position is Curly Red, once again showing he's got phenomenal pace, hasn't he? There's a big old gap there between Farf and Rafa there. Farf is not interested in getting on with it at all, is he? Rafa in fourth position. The champion, the two championship leaders are 5th and 6th. Farf and Vettel. Farf and Velocity 5th and 6th. Then we got Maz and Mike 7th and 8th then. 9th is Lucius with Troy in 10th position there. 11th position is a Gooner. 12th position is Dead Rabbit with Camaro in 13th. Energetics in 14th. The Gort is in 15th. Captain Infinity is 16th. Stereogram is 17th. Ayrton 18th. 19th is RDW. Bradfield is 20th. Soft tires for Captain Infinity, for Lucius, for Maz and Mike, and also for Newman as well. And on the hard tires, as Dead Rabbit's been disqualified as well. And on the hard tires is Energetics, and he is the only man on hard tires as well then. So interesting stuff indeed then from all these guys that have done fit. We've got all three compounds of tires in use indeed then. on board with Bradfield. Unfortunately, we haven't seen Bradfield or RDW yet. Hopefully we'll see more of them in the race then after they had a slap on the wrist there for their naughty shenanigans in the Dutch Grand Prix last time out then. Right, here we go then. We're already on lap 2. This race is flying by. Right, that's better. I am waiting for those 5 magical red lights. When they come on, we'll be getting ready to go out. We'll be getting ready to go racing, I should say. And then when they go out, we will be racing in the Catalonia, the Spanish Grand Prix here in Barcelona, which is not the Spanish capital. Right then, as we are now waiting for the lights as well, as it is getting very twitchy. Look at Nunda, his car is going from left to right. He is like a raging ball in that Williams. And I gotta say, I do love a long pause before we get going. And I gotta say, then the drama's building up. This is gonna be electric, isn't it? Where are those lights then? Where are those lights then? I'm still waiting for these lights. They are not coming off at the moment then, and I can't put on any more dramatic voice because I'm going to get a sore throat then, and I'm not sure what is going on at the moment, and this is not going at all well at all, and I'm going to be less dramatic. So at the moment then, we've got a bit of a false start, haven't we? We've had a couple of false starts in silver, haven't we? And we've been blaming Dan, of course, for his dodgy connection, but I think tonight we have to blame Farf. Anyway then, as unfortunately, we've had a bit of having a bit of an issue here, haven't we? And I'm just waiting to see if I'm going to get a comment or not about what's going on then. It's unfortunately, I would like these guys to be steaming down to turn 1 right now, and I would like to be seeing what's going on as well. I think I read a comment earlier on there about, I think it was Pillar saying, hopefully I don't know, virtual safety car before they get even to turn 1. Well, unfortunately, I haven't even got to turn 1 yet, have they? Lovely race stop strategy there as well. You can see a 1 stop medium to hard, or a 2 stop medium soft to hard, which I'm not too sure about that strategy, to be honest. I think that's a load of baloney, if you ask me. But what do I know? I think that Dan actually done something similar last night, didn't he? Before the safety car came out, but I don't think he went on the hard tires at the end then. As Bradfield, as Emerson has already pointed the finger. It's Bradfield who hasn't loaded in then. So Emerson already pointing the finger at poor Bradfield. He's having a bit of a nightmare night tonight, isn't he? As unfortunately he hasn't loaded in, has he? As his car is doing a bit of a going backwards and forwards at the moment. And you see a lovely. Oh, we got another predicted pit stop strategy as well. And soft medium there. As Bradfield has left the session, and now the lights have come on, and we are going, and it's a drive-through penalty. It's a drive-through penalty. I'm not sure if Bradfield, I'm not sure it's a restart, but we are going anyway. And Nunda, as Newman has already taken the lead over Nunda. Oh, goodness me, that is going to get very interesting indeed. As they come into turn 1, then Newman takes the lead. Second is Rizal, squeeze out the Mercedes, and now it's Velocity who's having to get very fisticuffs there on the, and that's a red off. That's a red off. It's Farf. It's the championship leader. He is off. And that's not good start at all then. And Bradfield there is ghosted at the moment then. And Farf is right at the back of the field, and Newman leads. Second is Nunda. Curly Red is third. Rafa in full position. Mike is in 5th position then, as they come down into turn 5 as well then. And we have got Troy on the outside. Velocity's having a appalling start then, but both championship leaders having an appalling start as well, haven't they? And now then, as we got Velocity in 7th position. Captain Infinity, my goodness me, he has flown through the field like a hot knife through butter. He's up 8 positions. My goodness me there. Captain Infinity, what a move there. As what a start, I should say, and he's going up the inside, the championship leader. And no room in there then. Mars has got a drive-through penalty there for jumping the start, and Stereogram has got in front of Lucius then, as Lucius seems to be losing battle out there. He's damaged the wing, that is why, for the Ferrari jar. Goodness me then. And now as Lucius has damaged the car, and once again having a nightmare race. So Lucius is far is now coming to the back of the field as well. He's down 15 positions, and lap 1 completed. Look at the gap there. It's already 1.5 seconds already at this stage then, as the traditional tower there goes up and down then. And I don't think Nunda is dropping back at the moment, because he's currently at Bradfield with the lap record of for the ages of 45. A fantastic lap there for Bradfield. Amazing stuff indeed. Well, Jake Wilson says Bradfield needs an invite back in this race, and so someone could I don't think I'm allowed to do it. If hopefully, oh gosh, and this is not going to be good. Oh, he's back in. Lovely stuff indeed then. That's a dilemma over. Goodness me. So then at the moment Newman is leading this race at the moment, and of course he's a fairly new boy to ALR, isn't it? Only his 2nd race, and he's already got a 2-second deficit over Nunda at the moment. But Nunda is now who had a cracking qualifying lap, didn't he, in qualifying, and his first pole position then. We might get a first time F1 winner as well here in Spain as he's having a weaving left and right there. We've got Williams are going on the inside of Troy. It is Velocity. Troy is on the outside. Velocity is on the inside. Velocity is through and pass and up into 7th position. Lovely 17. Farfus passes teammate and up into 16th fed as Farfus now got to do the comeback, isn't he? Similar to what Murphy had to do last night as well. Remember, Murphy also had a bit of a horror show on the opening couple laps as well. So similar then as both championship leaders. Oh, Farfus off the track again. And oh dear, Farfus out a nightmare race at the moment, isn't he, in the Renault? And he is dropping down the order then. And oh goodness me, indeed then Velocity, Maz is also in 19th position, and 20th position is Lucia as a stereogram has dropped down to 14th position, while Gunnar is now up in the 13th position, while Energetic is up in the 12th. Ayrton's up into 11th. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Captain Infinity's doing a cracking job out there indeed. That lovely stuff there. So let's take stock there. We're on lap 3 already in this race then. Remember though that Newman is on the soft tires and I'm getting excited. I really need to be more focused on the strategy here, shouldn't I? I'm very short-sighted in these races sometimes, and remember Newman and Nunda up at the top there. That's probably not a good idea, is it really? But Newman is currently on the soft tyres. Oh, and that's a swapperoo there from Curly. And look, he had to turn into the slide there, didn't he? The racing point driver, and very calmly done there as well. I would have really had to change my pants if I had that kind of problem there. RDW is now lost out to a Camaro racer as well. Camaro is now back up to 15th then. Farf is trying to recover then after having a nightmare start to the Spanish Grand Prix on lap 3 already in this race. A fantastic start then. And then Newman is currently then on the soft tyres and he is trying to make hay whilst the sun is shining. The Gort is through, but Dead Rabbit is not. Then Dead Rabbit has dropped down the order. Rafa has got a 3-second penalty as well. Energetics is now just outside the points and behind Ayrton as well then as they're coming through once again. Look at these cars. Look at these cars. They're already slipstreaming and DRS has been enabled then as we're on the third lap then. And look at this, and Mike that is on the gearbox there for Rafa as they come into turn 1. There's a lockout there for Newman. Nunda. That is going to be good. That's going to be the theme then, isn't it, throughout this race then. And Ayrton there still in 11th position as well. Stereogram has dropped down 2 more positions then as he is struggling there on the back straight. But look, Stereogram, I think he's got a bit too much wing there on that Alfa Romeo. And now we've got Mike who's dropped down the order. Oh goodness me, he's gone back up the inside and passes Velocity then. And look in front as well as Nunda is at Nunda, and also we've got Curly Red. This didn't go well last night, and look at these cars. Oh my goodness gracious me. And oh no, Curly Red there. Oh, and there's also someone going to the back of him as well. And there's Wings coming off third. Look at it, he's getting very feisty. The door's been kicked up. I know he's going to get very dangerous indeed. And Velocity has got more debris has come off of these cars, and these cars are not built to run. And oh goodness me, and Mark has been forced wide, and he has damaged up on McLaren as well. Oh goodness me, and Velocity's up the inside. Velocity has still got all his pieces in the right direction. Incredible. And Mike unfortunately has drawn the short straw there. Velocity up in the 4th position there. Very robust stuff indeed there as Nunda is now 6 seconds away. Then Mike is in the pits and that has really thrown his strategy into chaos, hasn't it? Curly Red there was almost by Nunda. Nunda doing a cracking job there. He did say that don't expect him to get second. Well, he's currently second at the moment. Nunda is fantastic stuff as Curly Red was stamping on the brakes there, wasn't he? Look at the cars behind as well as that is the Gort now past Captain Infinity and I'm in the 10th position as well then. And there's a lot of queues out there, isn't it? Good stuff indeed then. Is the Gort also passed the Mercedes as well as Rafa is limping at this stage of proceedings then. And now Captain Infinity, Ayrton's going to go on the inside as he's on the outside though. Turn number 5. This is going to get a bit dicey. Oh my goodness me, it's a Captain Infinity has gone in. Oh goodness me, and Rafa and Captain Infinity are kind of blows. There's debris all over the course, isn't there? Oh dear, then it's they seem to be rubbing wheels there. Captain Infinity's also got a 3-second penalty as well for his troubles. He's getting a bit dicey out there. Curly Red has dropped down the order. Oh goodness me, they're banging wheels. Goodness me, then what is going on here? And we've got a yellow flag then. It's one of the Red Bulls, is it? I think no, I don't think it is actually, is it? No, Len is. Sorry, it's one of the Alpha Tower. He said, oh goodness me, there's a lot of bumping and banging out there at the moment, and Farfar is getting very wayward there in 15th position there. He's trying to he is trying to probably trying to claw back some of the problems that he's caused himself in the opening stint of this race then as well. I've now got the Williams guys, and there's Nunda there. Is he going to battle his teammate? I don't think he's going to battle him too hard. Nunda is that no, he lets him by, and he is now over to third position. Lovely stuff indeed. Then is now Energetics has passed Ayrton as well. Ayrton dropping down to 8th position, and Farf is now back up to 13th position as well, as we got a couple of cars in the pits. Captain Infinity damaged the nose cone in the Ferrari. They're changing the car, as is Rafa as well. Mike has also been in the pits as well. Then there's been a lot of pit action. Then back to this battle here, then, which has been a cracking old battle, hasn't it? Nunda there defending, isn't he? And this could be a pivotal role here. Nunda is playing at the moment there. Nunda got a fantastic pole position, judged the conditions to absolute perfection, and now then he has really become a bit of a stopgap, hasn't he? Curly Red has got a 3-second penalty. It is the understeer that is Nunda is causing him at the moment there, and they're coming over the crest of the hill as well then. So it's going to be interesting to see how Velocity now starts to peg back Newman, if he can though, if he can. Incredible stuff indeed then. And now then we're back on board then with Curly. Then this is incredible driving here from Nunda at the moment. Nunda has gone wide though, hasn't he? He has got to say then, he is really strong on the dry track at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? As his team leader is getting away, and into the pits comes the race leader Newman. So he's seen the Velocity who's over the second position. He is coming to the pits there and has reacted straight away there. What tires is he going to go on then? Newman is. We'll have a look then. Is he going to go for a two-stopper? He is indeed for a two-stopper there. Curly Red is starting to go on the outside, and Newman is on the inside. Nunda, I should say, is on the inside. Nunda's got a very quick car, but Curly Red is going on the outside and takes second position. Nunda is down into third then. So on a cracking drive, and both Haas drivers are 4th and 5th. Lovely stuff indeed then. Energetics in 6th position. Ayrton 7th. Dead Rabbit's in 8th position. Guno is off the course. Oh no! Oh, he's reset back on the track there, and that's that will be a bit shady there for Guna. I am dubbed in, by the way, Guna. I'll leave you to it for now, but unfortunately, everyone might have seen it on stream. Ayrton and currently in 7th position then. And Troy is now all over the back of Nunda as well. I think I've just seen Forza, a former race winner in bronze, asking if he's seeing things as Nunda is currently in third position. Moni, you're not seeing things at all. He's had a fantastic drive, isn't he? Nunda he had a pole position. He judged the conditions to absolute perfection, and now he's doing a very good job in third position. And look at this, and now McGore and Troy are battling away. That both horses there are really nip and tuck. Lovely shot, by the way. Oh my goodness me there. That gave me good old feels. I did brilliant stuff indeed then, but Troy is now in 4th position, and his team now though, he's really holding up the gore, isn't he? And at the moment Troy is a reserve driver, but to how long for? So points are still pivotal for the reserves, because they still count, don't they? So of course the reserve driver's not going to jump out of the way if they don't have to as well, albeit even if it is their teammate. As you can see there, as now the Gort is going on the inside. Troy is not backing off, is he? And letting the Gort there struggling to get by at the moment. And look in the background, Energetics, who was in 14th position on the grid, is now in a fantastic 6th position there. The Gort is on the outside here. Troy is it going? He's going to go on the outside. Oh my goodness me! No love lost there between the two Haas drivers. There's a good old lock up there from Nunda as well. Incredible stuff. Becca Jones, aka Redbow, is just commented about Curly Red, her fellow Welshman in 2nd position at the moment. Curly Red he is having a monstrous race. I completely agree. He's having a cracking race once again. Is Curly Red. Lovely some detail. Another queue is starting to form now behind Nunda as well, and I am sweating. My goodness me! And I really need to open a window as far as back past RDW as well. Newman then, who I think I've seen Darren saying he raced against him as well. And goodness me, Newman is fantastic, isn't he? I agree with you there, Darren. He's very quick as well. As quick as a hiccup. He is brilliant, isn't he? Newman is at the moment now. We didn't see his full potential in the Chinese Grand Prix. We are seeing a bit more of that potential here tonight, and I am absolutely loving it. RDW there is just dropping back at the moment as well. Then coming back to this very tasty battle here at the moment. Let's take stock, shall we? We're on lap 9 then. Out of 33, these laps have flown by. No retirements at the moment, which is absolutely splendid stuff, and no safety car or virtual safety car either, as Newman has got by RDW. As now the meet in the Renault sandwich then. So Velocity leads this race then. Second position is Curly Red. Third position is Nunda, the pole sitter, who's on a fantastic race. Oh goodness me, the Gord's down on the inside of Troy. And Troy, of course, a pole sitter on his own right, was the last time out in the Dutch Grand Prix. Oh goodness me then, that gap was always going to close, wasn't it? And the Haas boys are really fighting all for all the marbles here, isn't they? Goodness me. Do they even do marbles now? I don't know, but they are definitely fighting for something. And oh my God, Gort. Oh my goodness gracious me! Oh, he's going to the side of Nunda, and the Gort is really, oh dear, and Nunda's got a 3-second penalty coming back on the course in front of Ayrton, and the Gort, as the Gort are pulling over to the side, then he's made a mistake there, but looks he's just misjudged his breaking down. Unfortunately, poor Nunda is the it's the unfortunate casualty, isn't it, as Nunda, as Gort is coming back on the track now as well. What a shame now. Velocity is still leading at the moment, and as Ayrton's now up into something to 5th position there. Ayrton is yellow flag, as the Gort there is just trying to recover indeed that. But yeah, he just misjudged breaking there at the Gort did, unfortunately, and that is a bit of a shame now, isn't it? And now then it's into the pits. There comes Nunda. What a shame. He was on a 10-second penalty there for the Gort as well. He was on a strong race up to that point. Nunda was on a cracking race as well, but unfortunately that is really out of a kilter for his strategy, isn't it? He was probably going to have the one-stop strategy, and unfortunately he's going to have an extra strategy, an extra pit stop as well. Mars is back in the pits as well for the racing point then, and he's coming in the pits as well. He's changing those tyres. He's gone from the soft to the hard tyre now. And the Gort coming in the pits as well. That's a shame now, isn't it? It was getting very feisty, wasn't it? And it just, oh, that's a Ferrari. Nolan, it's the Gor's Auto Racer, and that's Camera Racer who's pointing the wrong way. And a very tricky turn 8 and 9 then, and Camera Racer, both Red Bulls have had a spin there, and it looks like the setup of the Red Bulls is not too handy around here at all, is it? Maybe they've got too much low downforce, haven't they? And that is unfortunate there for Camera Racer, has dropped right down into 11th position then, and that is a big shame, isn't it? So just taking a look then, there's there's a lot of dive bombs going on at the moment. We've also got Carlos Alberto on the Facebook stream. A fantastic race then. Yes, I completely agree with you, Roberto. Carlos. That's a fantastic opening stint here in this race. Albeit there's been a lot of fisticuffs out there, hasn't it? Nunda's made his way back into 40th position there. Farf is defending them, but Newman's going to go on the outside of Farf. Farf, is he going to let that slide? Oh goodness me, Newman is on the outside there. There's a car the wrong way. It's dead right. He's gone the wrong way. Newman is just now tucked back underneath the rear wing of Farf. Around 1/3 of the way through this race. He's at the inside. He's a fantastic manoeuvre. He passes Farf. And no, Farf's going to come back up and under it. But Newman has got the high ground, hasn't he? And we all know what happened when Obi-Wan had the high ground. He is through and up into 6th position. Then as Farf has dropped down into 7th position in the Renault. Indeed, that now then Newman has got a lot of pace in this race. Already we're doing a cracking race. This is strong. Driver of the season so far, and Dead Rabbit has recovered back into 9th position then. So the AlphaTauri, it was difficult, but he is back in the 9th position. A lovely stuff indeed then. Energetics is now all over the back of Troy. Troy's had a very adventurous start to this race, hasn't he? Curly Red, I've got to say, he's doing a cracking job, isn't he? I echo all the comments there in the old stream, and he's having a cracking race, isn't he? Curly Red is he's 2.2 seconds in front of Troy, and of course then we've got Energetics to be honest. Well, Energetics on the hard tyre, isn't he? So we expect Energetics to lead this race in the coming laps, and as we come up to half distance, and that's when we're going to swap. That's when the medium tyres are going to be swapping to the hard tyres, and Energetics will be doing the alternative strategy, which would be the hard to medium tyre then, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I probably am. Dead Rabbit is in the pits, and his teammate Bradfield, who had a bit of a problem at the start there, is back in the race. He's now moved himself into 10th position. Lovely stuff indeed then. We still got a lot of very close battles there. Farf is not leaving Newman alone at the moment, is he, in that 7th position? Hardy is not leaving his teammate alone either. Great stuff then indeed then. Nunda is now back up into 12th position, while Mike, who's in 11th position, and Farf and Mike are having a very difficult race, haven't they? And Val's Velocity is having a cracking race. He hasn't won a race yet, Velocity hasn't, has he? And he's very much feeling the pressure, but now as the Gort has left the session, he is out of the race, and he did make a major mistake, the Gort did, but we've all done it, haven't we? But unfortunately, Nunda was an innocent by his standard in that one, wasn't he? What a shame there for Nunda, and that was a cracking race nonetheless for Nunda. Hopefully he can kick on and get some points now, but he's down in 12th position and behind Mike as well, who also had his trials and tribulations at the start of this race as well. Velocity at the moment then is currently 9 seconds in front of Curly Reddy. He's very much stretched out his lead, and he is going for his first race win of the season. Velocity is fantastic stuff, and I believe, if I'm not very much mistaken, that this will be Velocity's also Velocity's first race win as well, as Energetics has gone up into third, gone up to third position there. A good overtake there. The job was done before they even got to turn one. Lovely stuff there from Energetics then. And then now then, he is probably on the optimal tyre now, isn't he? Now then, let's see what he can do then. This is a good opportunity then. Far off has got a 3-second penalty as he's all over the back of Ayrton. Ayrton's all over the back of Newman as well then. Or Newman, well, I can't even say Newman as the moment. A yellow flag. We got a red ball of Camera Racer who's pointing the wrong way in the final part of the lap as well. That's not good at all, is it? For Camera Racer, it looks like he's stopped, has he? Is he stopped on the course? Camera Racer has had some problems there, hasn't he? He is now getting going. He has damaged the end plate. Camera Racer, he's having a very difficult race at the moment. Ayrton there, as you can see, there's far off in the background, and that's what half a second looks like from a Formula 1 car. It's brilliant, isn't it? And now then as they accelerate out of turn 10, and now up and over the 11 and 12 curbs as well. Far from who's he's been here, there, and everywhere, hasn't he? He's been at the back of the field, the front field. Camera Racer is the second retiree of the Spanish Grand Prix, unfortunately. Into the pits comes our race leader, Velocity. Then, at the moment, he's had a commanding lead, hasn't he, at this stage of proceedings then. And unfortunately, we had Nunda was also in the thick of it as well, wasn't he? But unfortunately, he's been T-boned. And now we got Newman, who is now second, who's now third. He'll be next second then when everyone comes in the pits as well. Ayrton is really hanging on to him quite nicely. Where's Velocity coming out of the pits? He is out in clear air there. When the race just comes to you, it just comes to you absolutely beautifully well, doesn't it? And that is what's happening to Velocity at the moment there. Brilliant stuff there from the championship leader, or joint championship leader, and he's looking on course there for his first race win of his career in bronze then here at the Spanish Grand Prix. So far it's been about consistency, hasn't it, for Velocity, but now it's time to go to our next step, break through the glass ceiling and get some race wins under his belt. He does have the talent. Now can he show it then? Back on board with Farfen at the moment, and he is behind Ayrton. Ayrton was at 18th on the grid there, having a much better race, isn't he, rather than qualifying. Unfortunately, he did bin it in the wall at the exit of turn 9, but a much better race there for Ayrton, and he's now got Farf kicking away at his heels then. And I think Ayrton's going to be feeling a bit vulnerable on the back straight. And Rafa is now also giving Nunda some cause for concern as well. Look at this, that is now Rafa there. Rafa Farfair is all over the back of Ayrton. Look at this, and oh goodness me, they're giving a push. They're both in the pits, and we're going to have a bit of a pit stop race here, aren't we? And how brave are they going to be on the speed? Oh, it's Dead Rabbit's got a 3-second penalty. I thought that was Ayrton, to be honest. As Dead Rabbit's got a 3-second penalty, but good stuff indeed. They're in the pits. Velocity is back out in 5th position there. Nunda is gaining on Energetics now, of course, but Newman has got to do another stop, the same as Energetics then. So this is going to be very intriguing as well. Bradfield is done the longest stint, apart from Curly Red, on those medium tyres then, because somebody did coming out of the pits, and same with Far as well. They're almost joined at the hip. Oh goodness me, Troy is coming back, and he's, oh my goodness me, dancing on the outside. He's on the inside. Troy's got a 3-second penalty. That might have opened the door for Far. Oh my goodness me, he's got his nose cone in Ayrton's diffuser, goodness me. And now then his Farf is up the inside, he passes Ayrton, and he is up into 8th position, and Troy there very unwillingly helped Farf get up into 8th position there, and Ayrton down to 9th, and Mike there of course is in 10th position there. Of course the damage earlier on there has really cost him, hasn't it? As German has just asked for a safety car now, as a safety car now, please, as German is asking. We've also got Forza saying a shout out to RDW. Yes, indeed, there. And we've already mentioned about how great RDW is doing at the moment, and it's his best race of the season, isn't it? Remember, him and Farfar quite close to each other. Into the pits, there comes Curly Red there. There's a lot of good performances out there. Also in the pits is RDW as well. Just watching his teammate at the moment, which is Farfen. And now Newman is now in the 2nd position as well. Then it's Energetics, we're now expected to go a couple more laps into this race, and where it is going to come in the pits. Is it going to come in the pits around 18, 19 or 20? Well, we'll find out. Maybe he wants to equal out slightly more than Rafa's got a 3-second penalty. Farfar's got by Troy and up into 6th position as well then. And now then where is RDW? He's coming out of the pits now. He's on the hard tires. He's got potential for some major points today, hasn't he, RDW? And there he is in the foreground, as he's going to be out in front of the man who was on pole position, and that is Nunda. And now then RDW that is giving Nunda plenty of space there, and very gentlemanly there from RDW. To be honest, I would have tried to clip off his nose cone there, but he might have, but he probably might have heard what happened to Nunda, which was a bit unfortunate, wasn't it? But RDW there, still in the points though, and he's on the hard tires now to the end of this race then. So keep an eye out for RDW. He potentially could be on course for some major points then. Newman is now 7/10 of a second away from the leader, which is Energetic. Oh, it's RDW there getting a bit of a swapper on there, and that's going to really entice Rafa, as this I think only Rafa's second race in bronze, and of course he's lasted a lot longer than his first race there in Japan last season, and RDW's got on the inside of RDW. Where's RDW? He's on the outside, and Rafa is through, passes RDW. Oh, RDW is going to sneak on the inside, not quite then. Rafa slams the door shut there on the Renault driver then. Now we've got Dead Rabbit, and Lucius also gets involved as well, and goodness me, and this is going to get very tasty, isn't it, before this thing is all said and done then. This is also tasty as well, and look at this, and these cars here. Sarah Graham has been lapped at the moment there in 18th position there in the Alfa Romeo. Then we're back on board then, as we're back on board then with Newman at the moment then, in the McLaren driver. Indeed, then there's a bit of a debate going on in the old chat, isn't it, about how well Newman's doing, but Darren was praising Newman, and I think Becca has said that these tyres probably won't last as long. I apologise if that's completely wrong. I only quickly read it, and I struggled to read things in the best of times. Everyone's seen last night with me trying to pronounce Pinard's name. Pinard's? That's Pinilla's name, I should say. I think Pinard, didn't he used to be a football player? I don't know. But anyway, there we go. RDW then is still under a lot of pressure, but Lucius and Dead Rabbit. Oh my goodness me! Dead Rabbit didn't need an invitation there. He snuck through and passed the Ferrari and moved up in the 12th position. Lovely start there from Dead Rabbit. Nunda is lost out, and now all of a sudden that's RDW as well. It's always very slow to work that one out. And look at this, and is Newman has taken the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix, and I feel though he does need to come in the pits, and I believe sorry, and so does Energetics as well, but yeah, so this is technically a straight out fight then, isn't it, at this moment in time. Velocity at the moment hasn't got a pit again, has he? He's on the one stop strategy, and he's in third position, looking very strong indeed. So is Curly in fourth position. Farf is in a very strong fifth position. The race has come back to Farf, and very good time indeed there. RDW is past Rafa, great position there. He's back on the 9th position then, and RDW doing a cracking the time indeed then, as just now watching Rafa there. He's on the back of RDW at the moment, and we are having a lot of great battles up and down the course, aren't we? And it's absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. Then Nunda is losing out at the moment now. I wonder if Nunda's had a problem now in the Williams there. It's all falling apart, isn't it, for the man who was on pole position. What a shame there for Nunda, and it was a really feel good moment there, wasn't it, for the Williams driver there of Nunda, and it's really good to see a driver there that has really evolved, hasn't he? Like Nunda, of course, there, who started off near the back. No disrespect to him, and this season he's been much more competitive, and then getting on pole position as well. It was a really good feel moment there. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Carlos is saying Racing Point Curly Red is doing a great race. He is, isn't he? He's currently in fourth position at the moment, having a cracking old drive, isn't he? In the Racing Point as well then. And then now we've got Nunda then, and there's a bit of a queue forming as well then. So at the moment, Newman is currently out in front at the moment, but he's got pit, so Velocity is the man in the ascendancy at the moment, as Nunda is back in the pits then, and that is not what we're expecting at all, is it? Nunda was expecting, oh look at that then, and he is back in the pits then. Of course, we are expecting, actually, sorry, I thought Nunda was on the hard tyres. Yeah, so Nunda back in the pits, and he is going to be changing tyres. What tyres going to go on? I wonder if he's going to go on now medium to the end of the race then as well. Then. What tyres they got? They have got the hard tyres that Nunda has then, and he is now back out on circuit as well. And Lucius also back out as well. And same with Rafa then. So RDW then has now been left alone now, so now he can now put his toe down and get on with it. As Lucius has also got past as well then. I'm back on board then with Newman at the moment. Then we've got a bit of a space. We've got a bit of a gaps forming now. Well, apart from between Captain Infinity, I think there's a really strong race from Captain Infinity, doing a cracking job out there in the Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed then, as absolutely brilliant stuff then, as we're back on board then. It's Forza said that Curly's podium might be at risk here. Darren is saying that Nunda has done an epic job improving. Yeah, Nunda's done a cracking job, especially in the face of adversity, but unfortunately he's had to come in the pits again, and he's dropped down into 17th position now as well. German is saying that As Jake Wilson saying, yep, Stephen Pienaar was a South African player for Everton. Yes, I knew that name came from somewhere, but I just didn't know where. And we've also got Gurman saying Energetics is going to be quick after the pit stops as well. He is indeed. Energetics is on a fantastic race, isn't he? In second position, and Gunnar's had a bit of a problem there on the final couple of corners, hasn't he? He has dropped right behind Captain Finty, but he's still in the DRS zone, so he gets that rear wing deployed, and he will be gaining, but it won't be enough going into turn 1. There's not a big enough braking zone to turn 1, as we found out last Sunday at the Formula 1 Spanish Grand Prix in the real world of Formula 1, didn't we? Anyway then, yes, so now Captain Finty in 11th position, Gunnar in 12th. These two men might be battling for the final points there, because you never know what can happen in ALR, do you? Because it's never over till it's over. Ayrton, who is equally having a fantastic race in 7th position, has got a 3-second penalty as well, and I've got to say, at the moment there, Ayrton is looking on a very strong form, isn't he, in 7th position. Lovely stuff indeed there for Ayrton. It could have been more. Darren is saying, shout out to Gunnar, so we're past, as he's past half distance. Well done to Gunnar. And he's on again. I think the last 3 races for Gunnar, he's been really strong, and he's going up the inside of Captain Infinity. Oh, goodness me, caught me unaware there. Goodness gracious me. I'm just taking a breath back, because this race has definitely took my breath away, hasn't it? As I might burst into song there by that song from Top Gun, I think, is with good old Tom Cruise in as well. I'm a big fan of Tom Cruise. Mike is in the pits then, and of course the man who's in for who won last time out had a bit of a nightmare race as well. Now this battle has turned for points then, and Gunnar's looking on a very strong form for points as well. Captain Infinity's gone on the inside. Gunnar's got to make this move then, and he's gone on the outside. Captain Infinity's on the inside. Great racing from both those drivers there, and Captain Infinity tried to go up and under, not quite there. Great racing by both of them there, both Red Bull and a Ferrari driver. Lovely stuff there. Captain Infinity has been on these tyres for 14 laps though, and Gunnar might be going to the end then. Will Captain Infinity be going to the end then? He'll be limping on there. Remember, he had a puncture was on after 20 laps for one of the drivers in gold on Sunday, and I can't remember who it was. Into the pits comes Newman then, so he's in the pits and he's rolled the dice early on then, and he is cutting the pits then. 2/3 of the race is gone then. He's on the medium tyres, and that is his final stop then, and he has had a bit of a delay coming out of the pits as well, and he should be in front of Curly. Well, no, it's Curly coming out of the pits now. McLaren are quite a way down there, aren't they? But I think that Curly might get out in front here. This is going to be touch go. No, there he is, and Newman is well in front then, and Curly unfortunately has now dropped down into 4th position, hasn't he? A net 4th position as well. Having said that, Velocity hasn't pitted yet, has he? And there's good stuff indeed as Forza knows about Take My Breath Away by Berlin, and we've also got Jake Wilson and Darren commending Gunnar on a cracking move indeed there for Gunnar. Great to see him having a good old battle there as well. So Newman has come out of the pits in 3rd position there. Where is Energetics going to come out of the pits there? Because surely these guys here are going to be quicker than Energetics, as Energetics has done 21 laps on those hard tyres. Now it's a mammoth stint there from Energetics. Is he staying out there too long, or is he going for the soft tyre then? It's going to be very interesting to see then. Infinity is not giving up on that 10th position, by the way, as he's another man who's really improving today as well. Good stuff indeed there for Captain Infinity. Really nicely done then, as RDW has got a 3-second penalty. Is that going to destroy his points dream here tonight then? He's just got to keep it on the black stuff. He just needs to keep it on the tarmac, and he'll be getting some good points as well. But Dead Rabbit there is on his case. Dead Rabbit has done 9 laps on those hard tyres, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets to the end then. MJS is coming in the pit, so he's on the medium tyres then, and he is going to be coming out now then. He's coming on the pits now then, so I thought there was a bit of a delay there. It was a slight delay. Curly Red is in front, so is Farf as well. Where is Farf? Well, no, he's going to be in the middle then, as Farf is dropped back then, and oh goodness me, that is Energetics there. Oh, Farf swoops past on the outside, and Energetics didn't want that then. He wants to make hay, wants to set his shine in then. 17 seconds. Velocity has been absolutely stonkingly brilliant then. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Darren is saying that Newman is going to charge now. Very few penalties popping up in bronze. GG. Very good stuff indeed there. Yes, Newman is going to be charging him, but that's a 17-second deficit with 10 laps to go. It'll be an almighty mammoth task then, but can Newman do it? He's been impressive tonight, hasn't he? Fantastic stuff there, and another new star in the future of ALR. Loving it. And we've also got Energetics as well there. Of course, we knew about Energetics. Oh my goodness me! And I thought he was in the wall there. He had a wobble, and that's a Mercedes off of Rafa has had more than a wobbly at turn number 2, and he is back on the tarmac as well, and he's down in 17th position now, and I think that might have all but ended his hopes of potentially getting a result here tonight then, because it's quite close actually from Gunnar, Captain Infinity, Bradfield, Maz, Mike. They're all very close within each other, within about 6 seconds. That is the maximum. And Nunda, I've got to get my teeth back in. Nunda is also very much within the ballpark as well, as we're now coming into turn 1 then. Curly Red is now under a lot of pressure, isn't he? This is the battle for the final podium position then. It's Curly Red currently has it at the moment. This will be a fantastic race for Curly Red then. Can he keep that? He hasn't had a podium yet. He's got 13 points so far this season, Curly Red has, and if he gets, and this will be in this result alone will actually almost over double his points tally. So good 17th there for Curly Red, lovely stuff. And Noonda's got to take a 3-second penalty at this moment in time as well then. Gap is down to 15.8 seconds, and as Newman has got to go slightly quicker than that if he wants to catch Velocity, but Velocity has been head and tails in a league of his own tonight, hasn't he? He's been fantastic, hasn't he? Right from the get-go, brilliant stuff there from Velocity, because he was looking good on those intermediate tires, wasn't he? The track dried up, and his teammate Nunda got the pole position, didn't he? Brilliant qualifying performance. I love that qualifier. Now, it's probably one of my favourites of the season so far. Absolutely splendid stuff indeed then. And I feel that this is going to be a great battle. It's going to live long in the memory as well, as we are coming into the final stages then of the Spanish Grand Prix. Less than 10 laps to go then. Velocity leads by 15.5 seconds from Newman in second position. Curly in third position. Then we've got fourth and Energetics, fourth and fifth, and this is the battle for the podium then. And look at this, and fourth is third. Curly's down in the fourth position, and Energetics is through. Energetics is going to go on the outside. Look at this, and there's, oh my goodness, we contact, and Curly Red is back on the inside. Great manoeuvre there, and Curly Red, look at this, so he's really struggling, and Energetics there is on the wrong piece of track there, and he is losing ground then as Favre. I think Favre has done a splendid job tonight actually. He was facing the wrong way on a couple of occasions, and he still has managed to get himself back into a podium position at the moment, but I gotta say it'd be very difficult for him to stay there with Energetics. RDW is in the pits, and I'm not sure why RDW's in the pits. He's on the soft tyres, but he was on course for a mega haul of points in the Renault. So what's going on for RDW? Oh goodness me, what a shame then for RDW. He was on course for some major pointage there. 15.3 seconds the gap is at the front then, and it's Newman. I think this would be Newman's best result of his career, wouldn't he? As he's currently, his best result is eighth position there, which of course is definitely not a representation of his talent there. I'm a big fan of Newman. He's a very good driver, isn't he? And I've only seen him race home, my second time I've seen him race there. Very impressive indeed that Bradfield is less than a second away from Captain Infinity, who Captain Infinity like a lot of other drivers has had some standout performances here tonight. Really good stuff indeed that Energetics has dropped back slightly, and Curly Red is more of a problem for Favre at the moment, and Energetics is to Curly Red. Interesting stuff then. Bradfield then is now all over the back Captain Infinity, and I got to say Captain Infinity, oh, yellow flag, as what has gone on there is Nunez had a problem there, is Rafa getting through, and Rafa also getting 3-second penalty for his troubles as well. And it's Captain Infinity there, and I was getting confused who was who then. But yeah, it says Bradfield there is a second behind Captain Infinity. He was on board from him, and he seemed to lose driver, didn't he? Great drive from Farfair, driver of the day there from Darren. And yes, indeed, Farfair's done a great job, but unfortunately, I've got to be honest, who would I give driver of the day to? I think Energetics might be in the ballpark. Same with Ayrton as well. Ayrton from 18th to 7th, Energetics from 14th to 5th, and that could get even better for Energetics as well. Farfair's done a cracking drive actually to be pointing the wrong way on several occasions and still come back to be on the podium at the moment. But we see how this race pans out. Unfortunately, far from those mistakes was the second mistake we did say was kind of his own accord by the looks of things, which is unfortunate, isn't it, for Favre? But his bounce, but his comeback drive has been phenomenal, hasn't it, from Favre? And he is currently in 5th position at this moment now. Energetics there, we was expected to be a lot quicker than this at the moment. He's really struggling, isn't he? It looks like the dirty air of the car in front is really causing some issues there. Coming up behind Favre has really caused some issues there for Energetics, hasn't it? What a shame there for Energetics. I wonder if he stayed out a lap too long, or a couple of laps too long, which may have cost him track position at this stage of this race then, and that's a big blow then for Energetics. And now as Energetic's locking up there, he's really pushing the envelope now, isn't he? He's really trying to get past Curly. That Farf is now pulling away from this ball here. He's now a second and a half in front. RDW has got past Lucius, and there it is. And RDW is now in the 14th position. He has got 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's about 8 seconds to gain then to get a point. And can he do it? And he's on the soft tires. Lucius, so it's had a great drive then. Oh goodness me! And that's going into. Oh my goodness me then! And they're going into turn 4. RDW has gone slightly wide. Dennis Lucius is going up and under. And RDW has got the inside for turn 5. But Lucius is not giving up then. And oh goodness me, got a yellow flag there. As what's the yellow flag for? Because I was in the same zone there, so that's a bit interesting. And now then we're on board then with. We're on board then with Lucius there. He's really giving RDW some cause for concern. RDW, he's going to have to try and pull away. And no, it's Energetics is through. He's up in the 4th position and passes Curly. And that move has been coming. Now then, he's got 1 and 2 tenths of a second to gain on Farf in the 3rd position as well. Oh, this is going to get very tasty indeed. And the final stage, Captain Infinity's got a 3-second penalty. That might be a problem now for Captain Infinity and possibly getting his first points of his career in ALR. He's had a splendid drive tonight, hasn't he? Good stuff indeed then. And now as we're just saying that Lucius is in DRS range of RDW, but RDW is on the soft tires, so he's launched off of that final corner beautifully, and that should be done and dusted for RDW. His next target is Mike in 13th position. Mike is not going to get a point here today, and that is going to be it's going to be a huge blow in his championship credentials, isn't it? For Mike, he seems to be win or bust there. He either wins or finishes 9th or gets no points at all at the moment. Mike does, and which is but I think you'll definitely get a win. You definitely choose a win, won't you, for Mike? But unfortunately, there it just hasn't come to fruition tonight. As 15 seconds, the gap is at the front. Then it's under 15 seconds now between Newman and Velocity. But I think Velocity has this one covered. Now the question is, does Energetics got anything left in this car and in these tires to get on to the rostrum then? Which Farf is currently holding in 3rd position at the moment in the Renault. And Farf, I got to say, his season's been very up and down. It's unusual, isn't it, for Farf? Very inconsistent, isn't he? He's had the raw pace, hasn't he? He's just he just seems to run into troubles here and there, doesn't he? Farf does, and he's only had one race win this season as well, which is absolutely extraordinary, isn't it, to say the least? As just watching then, it's Darren saying Ayrton's still green to league racing, so great job as well. Zaki said seems the hard is a better race car than the mediums, and don't say Guna 3 times he was spin then. As contrary to F1 2019 then, as Zaki was making a point about the hard tires being quicker than the medium tires, and it's looking exactly to be the case at the moment now, and a big old lockup, which is the complete opposite, because I thought the medium tires looked much more impressive last night in silver, didn't they? But here tonight it's definitely about the hard tires, and Velocity has absolutely played this one absolutely beautifully, hasn't he, tonight? Energetics was looking very good on the hard tires as well earlier on in this session. And now then it's recovering through the final turn again then, and Energetics only gained 2/10 of a second on his lap, albeit on much fresher tires of the Alfa Romeo, hasn't he? He's 1 point, he's now less than a second then. No, he hasn't, he's bang on a second, isn't he? So they come down into turn 1 once again then. 8/10 of a second then is between Maz and Mike in the battle for length and 12th position. Potentially that could become a point finish as well. And it's one of the Alfa Romeos, I think, is Stereogram, who's having issues at the back of the field at the moment then. He is down in 18th position then. What's his teammate? Energetics is currently in 4th position, and another lockup from Energetics. At this stage then, Energetics will go into 3rd in the Drivers' Championship then, as Mike will unfortunately be dropping down into 4th as well. And talking of Mike, he has gone up into he's drawn up into 11th position, passes Maz, and oh my goodness, Maz has got to try and go back on the inside there. I'm going to say that was brave stuff from Maz, wasn't it? And these two, as I said, could be potentially battling away for points as well. Energetics is now very much coming to the back of Farf he was then, as he's dropped back out of DRS at range as well. Guna having a cracking job in 9th position there, as he's been in this position before, hasn't he? Let's hope he can stay there. And the same with Bradfield as well, and a cracking job. And Dead Rabbit as well. Dead Rabbit also on course for some major points as well. His first points of the season, and there's going to be a couple of drivers that get some first points of the season. Lovely stuff indeed there. Farf is it's really had a great slingshot out of the final turn, hasn't he? And it's actually got himself out of DRS range there, hasn't he, to come into turn 1 then. And this must be very frustrating for Energetics, mustn't it? back to this battle here. I feel that there might be some more fisticuffs on the way then between Mike and Maz in 11th and 12th position now. 3 seconds away from Bradfield. Bradfield definitely has a penalty already, doesn't he? I can't remember if Mike and Maz does, so it's going to be a very interesting indeed. Then coming through the final turn, then Maz has got DRS, and on Mike then Mike does have fresh tyres, and Maz has done 20 laps on these hard tyres. 22 we think is the limit, don't we? After the issues that happened in Gold, and I still can't remember the driver had the issues, but of course there was a puncture, wasn't there, on the second to last lap before. Driver had 22 laps then, so Maz will be very much on the limit then at the final stages of this race as well. Coming back to this battle here, which is at 3rd, 4th and 5th then. Curly Red has dropped down now. He's about 2 seconds away from Energetics. Energetics just can't seem to get closer than Farfen. He's very much in the turbulent air now. I'm wondering if that is really causing issues for Energetics' car, and perhaps and that might help Farfen. Of course, this track is very much aero dependent, isn't it? And really, if you've got a good setup, then really you should go well around here, really, isn't it? It's more of a car setup, isn't it, rather than anything else then. Now but coming all the way down into turn 1 as well, there's a lot of big props there for Curly here tonight, doing a cracking job in 5th position, and let's hope he can keep 5th position. Maybe he can get up into 4th or even 3rd, depending on the penalties, and I think Farf has a few in his piggy bank as well. Remember, that cost him a win last time out in the Dutch Grand Prix, didn't it? And that might even cost him 3rd now, and that might be the reason why Energetics might not be steaming up to the back of him. He might feel that he has the legs over Farf in terms of the track position on the old timesheet, and that might be why then, if he doesn't want to go anywhere near Farf's rear diffuser then. And so now as we're coming into the twilight then, as we got Rafa in the pits then for the Mercedes then, as Rafa has returned to ALR here in the Mercedes here tonight. Hasn't been very fruitful, has it? Nunda is now in the 15th position as well. RDW is into 13th then. He is still about 7 seconds off the points at the moment, and Mike is now 2.5 seconds behind Bradfield as well. Those two have come to blows, haven't they? So Japan last season for one that springs to mind now. Velocity then is Dead Rabbit's got a 3-second penalty. That might promote Gunnar up, and Dead Rabbit might be a bit good by that then, because he might lose his points here. So Don is asked, is Troy a rookie to the league then? He's a reserve at the moment, Troy is, but yes, he is indeed a rookie as well. I think it's only his second race there in bronze. He also did silver as well, and so 3 races in total in ALR, 3 or 4 about. And now we're just on board with Velocity then, as he is on the final stretch of the course as well then. And I gotta say, this has been Velocity's most impressive performance. Remember, he started in 17th position. I think it was, wasn't it, the Chinese Grand Prix, and he finished 3rd, didn't he, that day? But I think that today, the way he's commanded the race, Velocity has been absolutely on fire as he comes through the final turn. And believe it or not, this is Velocity's first race win in ALR Bronze. He wins the Spanish Grand Prix. A dominant performance there for Velocity, and he now leads the Drivers' Championship. And then brilliant drive for Newman State. Curly Red is 5th as well, and so there's a lot of penalties, and then Curly Red almost got into 4th position. And Troy is in 6th position. Ayrton, a strong drive from 18th to 7th. Good drive from Ayrton. And now then we've got Dead Rabbit, Gunnar and Bradfield then. Can these guys get their first points kick on from here then? Dead Rabbit then out of 10th. Gunnar and 9th, and Mike is in 10th position. Dead Rabbit then not getting any points in the end. Mars in that position. RDW is the strongest performance in the ALR, and he probably deserved some points there, didn't he? Nunda, what could have been as well. What a shame for Nunda in 15th, and Captain Infinity in 16th as well. But Velocity wins the position. 4th was Energetics. Curly Red in 5th. Troy in 6th, and Mike in 10th position. Dead Rabbit so close to getting his first points in 11th. Mars in 12th. Lucius 13th. RDW 14th. Nunda in 15th. 16th is Captain Infinity. 7th is Rafa, and 18th is Stereogram. Retirements is Camera Racer and the Gore, all retired from the Spanish Grand Prix as well. An absolutely fantastic race indeed. As I think I'm in a party on my own, actually. I am indeed in a party on my own then, as we are now just I'm going to just jump into Hello, everyone. And we're with the drivers now. We've had a fantastic race today, and let's quickly run down the rostrum and just talk to these guys who have had a cracking race today. Let's start off with Velocity then. Velocity, what a drive for you today! And that is your first race win in bronze. I can't believe I'm saying that. Incredible.
Verstappen-esque, really. I feel like I dominated Q1 and 2, messed it up big time in Q3. It wasn't ideal, but I managed to make it work. Season's not gone off to the perfect start for me, but honestly, I want to get the hammer down now and just smash it out.
Oh, and you really did. Drofast asked me to ask you, are you going to gold?
No, I need the championship first.
That was an incredible drive. I can't believe I'm saying that's your first race win, but I was saying about you've had some impressive races storming through the field, but that one was so impressive in terms of commanding, wasn't it? How did it feel to be out in front and in control?
I didn't think I was, if I'm being really honest. I didn't actually realise that Newman was doing the two-stop. So when I came out of the pits, I was chasing him down. All I saw was red. I was just chasing him down. I looked up for a split second, saw the mediums. I was like, oh, fucking hell, I'm net P1 here, so...
Excuse the French there.
No, incredible.
Absolutely fantastic stuff, and now you lead the championship outright. So brilliant stuff indeed there, and a fantastic drive today. Really well done. Let's come to second place man, which is Newman, who is only a second race today, but my goodness me, he was fantastic today. Newman, what a drive today. I did say in the qualifying show that he was very unlucky in China, but here today you really showed some pace.
Yeah, that was good. The two-stop was never the way, but I got caught out in... Did it rain in Q2, I think?
Yeah, it did, yeah, the sprinkling.
Raining, and I invalidated like my first 2 laps, and I just had to go for the softs, and I set it like whilst it was raining. I think I got 8th, I think, so mediums was never going to make it into Q3.
And indeed then, but that's your first podium of your career then, and I got to say that's the first of many. What's your aspirations then for the season? I know it's only your second race, but you think you can catch the guys at the front?
Nah, I'll be top six. I'll be happy with, I think, for my debut season.
Brilliant stuff indeed. And third on the podium was Farf. I got to apologise to you, Farf, because I thought you had abundance of penalties. I'm sure I've seen your name up there more than once. But
I had one.
You had one in the end. And I got to say, you had an up and down race here tonight. You was facing the wrong way a couple of times on the opening lap, but my goodness me, what a drive to get back into third.
You know me.
Lovely.
You know me.
Absolutely splendid stuff. And I think we'll move on. Oh, I can, but that's just the way he speaks. And I think that's it from the interviews tonight then. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely a cracker, hasn't it, from bronze as always. Velocity, his first race win, and then he has now really pulled out a gap over far from the driver standings. Energetics has also moved up to third as well after Mike having a very difficult spell then. Join us in a week's time as we're in the Principality of Monaco. I'm really looking forward to that one. Go